Hey everybody, this is Cameron from Noxious Anonymous. Welcome to the Twin Peaks Thought of the Day video for Sunday, May 14th, 2017. We are 7 days away from the new Twin Peaks launching on Showtime. Super excited. Today we have just a huge panel for you. We have Vin. You know him from James's videos, Twin Peaks Coffee Time. We have... Hello. We have Josh. Thank you, Josh, for coming back. Great to see you again.
Good evening.
We have your favorite animal life represent, James, here. We have Debbie, who has agreed to come out of the shadows and join us for another podcast. That's wonderful. Thank you.
Hi.
And we have a newcomer. We have Chris, I believe he's been a big fan of these videos, but this is the first time he's been on one of ours. So thank you so much, Chris, for coming.
No, thank you.
Now, before we get started, James wanted me to ask you sort of about your artistic life in regards to David Lynch and Twin Peaks. So why don't you fill us all in on who you are?
Okay, so well, recently I just done the poster from The Art Life, a documentary for David Lynch. But it's weird because we do it via the marketing directors, not via Lynch, which is the bizarre thing. So we get sent like, I don't know, I got sent 4 stills for that, and it was just create a poster out of this. It was nothing, and then we sent it back to him, and it got approved straight away, which is bizarre, you know. And I have my ex-girlfriend worked at Studio Canal, and they've just released Mulholland Drive. They've just re-released it on 4K. And they spent a year building up this new trailer and this new poster, and they sent it off for approval in the US, and it got turned down by Lynch. And Lynch was like, "You're not fucking using that. You're not using that for my promotion." And they've had to go back to basics, and they basically had to just twist the old trailer slightly. I mean, how messed up is that? They spent over 50 grand doing that, just because they hadn't passed Lynch.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it? Like, you'd imagine, like, from the get-go, you would go to Lynch and be like, "This is our idea. This is how we're pitching this."
You think on some level he would maybe go, well, maybe if this new trailer they've spent all that money on is going to perhaps get any audience, or you get a few more people coming to the cinema to see it or buying it, you know.
No.
But then instead he's just like, "I don't like it." So,
no, so
I mean, I wonder what he did like about it, presumably.
No, so they basically ignored him up until the last point. So they'd gone through all the managers in the company and all of those marketing people, and they'd gone, right, got to get approved by, you know, the director at the end game. And then he'd have gone, "This is a fucking, what is this, a joke?" The poster was a joke. I saw it, and it was like basically it was basically, if you imagine Mulholland Drive with watercolors, right, and big heads, like watercolored big heads. That's not Mulholland Drive, is it?
Well, not really, but it depends. I'd have to see it, but it sounds a bit strange, a bit out there, like that, unrelated. Yeah,
it was like if you haven't seen the film,
rock or something. I mean, surely they should have contacted Lynch about the trailer more early in the state, you know, in an earlier stage. And
well, this was the issue, that they didn't bother until the last minute, and then they contacted him before it had to go out, and he went, "This is a fucking joke." Like, and these guys have released, Studio Canal have released.
What did they do with the trailer?
They ditched
They had like
it.
panpipe music playing over it. And they just had a slow motion shot of the bush.
This is the thing, like Studio Canal have released.
I mean the bit where Laura Ellen Oring is lying underneath the foliage at the start, and you know,
not the fuzzed out version that Lynch put on DVD.
Well, I know that you made a whole video about that, Cameron, so I thought I'd bring it in.
Actually, I think you did a whole video about it.
Oh yeah, you made me do that.
Yeah, I did. You know, it's interesting. I brought it up last night that, you know, Criterion put out Mulholland Drive on Blu-ray, and you know, they included that scene that was from the pilot of Robert Forster sitting at his desk and everything. And it made me think, you know, why didn't Lynch just put all the other deleted scenes, extended parts on that disc as well? Why just that moment? You know, why not just release the entire pilot on HD if you're going to do that? I don't know, just kind of, it's sort of strange that he would choose that one scene out of all the extended moments to include, because that scene does nothing for the overall storyline. But
yeah, I don't. Maybe it's just a money question. Like they didn't have enough cash to or agree to remaster the whole pilot.
no, but they could have put some of the other scenes on there as well.
Oh, you mean just put it on there? And yeah,
Why just that scene? Because that scene does nothing. But I will say I'm rather amazed that it's getting a 4K release, considering that it's been on Blu-ray for a while, and Criterion again put it out on Blu-ray here in the States. So to have another reissue of it, it's kind of interesting.
They even did it cinematically, so it's gone out in cinemas in the UK. Like, I mean, it came out, I think it's probably about 3 weeks ago they did it. It's just money. It's just money grabbing. It's just bending it so you can then get some more fucking cash, isn't it? Really.
The Blu-ray release for this new Mulholland Drive is next Monday. So not tomorrow. I mean, so it's like the day after, that is the day of the premiere.
So they're basically tying it into Twin Peaks premiere, aren't they? To get.
So it's basically really trying to get. There'll be all this kind of, there'll be just people going around clutching logs everywhere and going into HMV and saying, give me the latest Lynch injection.
Well, maybe. I think they want to just remind people who David Lynch is, because he hasn't made a film in 10 years. And let's be honest here, very few people saw Inland Empire. So, it's going back maybe 16 years all the way to Mulholland Drive.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't do an Inland Empire 4K re-release.
Well, personally, I'm amazed we haven't had a reissue of Lost Highway, because the people have always complained about the DVD and the Blu-ray quality. And it's the only film of Lynch's in this mystery kind of department that he works in that has not had the deleted scenes released. And I think Lost Highway is one of those films where people have been wanting to see those for a long time. If you go and watch that Pretty as a Picture documentary, they have one of the deleted scenes shown of Pete and his girlfriend arriving at some like bowling alley or something like that. But yeah, we haven't seen anything like even Mink Stoll shot a scene as a jury forewoman or something that condemns Fred Madison. So I'm pretty sure that's going to get another release at some point. But anyway, all right, so let's get started. First topic, something I brought up last night when I did my solo video. They released Showtime released a first part sort of retrospective trailer thing, I guess, for Twin Peaks called Twin Peaks: The Phenomenon. They interview a number of people, Lynch and Damon Lindelof, who of course helped create Lost and co-wrote Prometheus. And a few other people on there, but I was kind of amazed that it was designed primarily for newbies, which I understand, but at the same time, it was kind of preaching at them, saying, "Hey, this show was really important 25 years ago, so it's super important. Then you watch it now." And to me, that kind of marketing typically doesn't work.
No,
I've had other people contact me and say, I've tried to show this Twin Peaks to some people kind of in a forceful way, now, and they kind of reject it, even though it is kind of a timeless thing. One thing I forgot to say last night is I thought the most insulting part of the whole trailer was the fact that they keep talking about Lynch's style and Lynch's shots and how incredible he is with the camera, and every image they were showing was from episodes that he did not direct.
Classic marketing right there.
yeah. I mean, they showed other scenes of things he did direct, but whenever they were referencing Lynch, it was always like a Leslie Lincoln Glatter episode or something else like that. And I was like, what? These people have no clue what the hell they're doing. So anyway, Lynch looked really tired. This interview was obviously done probably at the end of filming, beginning of editing. He looks like he's, just about to just keel over any second. But anyway, that was just my opinion. This is part one. Hopefully part two and whatever else they do is better. But let's just go around. Vin, let's start with you. What did you think of that, I guess, quote unquote, trailer they released?
Well, to me, after that last trailer with the new characters, everything is a bit underwhelming. And this particular one is as you said, I think rather bad. I didn't like it at all.
Was it primarily because you thought it was kind of talking down towards the viewership, or what do you think?
Well, for a seasoned fan like us, who are on the page and discussing these things for years now, we certainly couldn't learn something new from it. But I saw that. Did you see that when they put the letters of Twin Peaks and they asked before they were lost,
Right.
before there was Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. I
Right.
thought it was interesting to show how earth shattering this show was when it came out.
And then when you see
how groundbreaking.
Right, you see that trailer, and then when you see this new trailer, you have John Thorne in there that did the Wrapped in Plastic magazine, and he talks about how when the pilot dropped, he says, and I quote, "It was kind of a minor sensation." And you're thinking to yourself, going, "Kind of a minor sensation." Like, I understand what you're trying to say, but we just saw a trailer that just said before Game of Thrones, before Breaking Bad, before all this, that Twin Peaks was the greatest thing that ever happened to television, and kind of a minor sensation does not link up with that.
No.
Yes, it's
that
not
what he actually said?
minor.
I didn't realize he said that. I thought he just was kind of a sensation. I didn't. Did he? Are you sure he said minor sensation?
Well, maybe I forgot. Maybe he doesn't say minor, but say kind of a
He
sensation.
No, he
I mean,
says kind of a sensation.
The show got like 22 million viewers that first night, which is the equivalent of 100 million viewers today. So,
Yes.
Well, let's face it. This one, amongst a few others, it's like the Showtime marketing department are just throwing anything out there that could see if it'll stick. But whoever was put in charge of this one, they should be fired immediately. It's like get some grossly obese douche waffle there going, when I saw Twin Peaks, I shut my mouth. It's like, what? It's just sickening. You don't want to see some asshole with pink glasses on and stuff.
Well,
it's just going.
The other thing is they keep showing these these Twin Peaks parties, and if I had ever gone in 1990 to a crowded room with people screaming and
Twin Peaks party, it's just faked. It's like a bunch of teenagers watching Moonlighting or something. It's just some pivotal moment. It's got nothing to do with Twin Peaks. They just shoved it in there 3 times. It's like the person who edited and even produced a lot of this program. It gives you the feeling like they've never even seen Twin Peaks. Honestly, it's that bad.
Josh, what did you think of it?
I don't think there's anything else I can add to that. It's that's all pretty much what I feel about it. Vin mentioned the one about before the Game of Thrones thing and before they were lost and that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And I liked that initially as I watched it, and then afterwards I sort of thought, oh, that was a bit shit. I just thought I felt the same way. Yeah, I felt the same way about that as I do about this. It just feels very. Why? It just feels strange that they have to say, yeah, but all this television that came after it. This is what the thing is. It's like, well, I don't understand why you have to compare it to everything else that's come.
Right. It's almost like. Instead of just saying, Twin Peaks was a a big show and it's coming back and kind of hyping that. The X-Files didn't even do this,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But they're really they're going out of their way to just make you feel like if you don't watch it, you're going to be unimportant on Monday morning.
Well, that's exactly.
It was a bit like that.
Exactly what they want, isn't it? It's marketing. That's exactly what they want.
And that one before Thrones were gamed or whatever and all that. That was apparently shown actually in theatres even. And that's the kind of approach it's trying to. It's like people are supposed to be sat there with their hands ripping the seat apart because they're so tense, thinking, shit, this is groundbreaking. I'm going to watch this shit. Let me tell you. Give me some beef jerky.
And you're telling me you're not like that right now for Twin Peaks?
Well, I do feel a bit like that at times.
We all feel like that exactly right now for Twin Peaks. Come on, they've.
Well, I mean, whether I feel that in 7 days, I don't know. There's a lot of interest, but I think a lot of it is also due to the fact that obviously there's very, very little new footage. But then we have seen some this week, and that was quite
ball
breaking.
Right,
we'll get into that in a second. Debbie, what did you think of this trailer?
Well, first of all, it reminded me of one of those kind of little DVD extras they used to stick on DVDs. Maybe not so much nowadays.
Definitely, yeah.
Little fluff fellers that really don't mean anything.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised
EPK things.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it shows up as an extra somewhere down the line.
Does anybody?
But second of all,
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Second of all, it irked me a little bit because you know what it's like as a Twin Peaks fan for years. Every time a new show comes on, they're all like, "It's the new Twin Peaks. It's the new Twin Peaks."
Oh God, yeah.
So it's that kind of. I don't think every show owes Twin Peaks.
Especially since if you were a fan.
But I can't see what Game of Thrones has to do with Twin Peaks.
Well, especially since it's going to be Twin Peaks versus Game of Thrones all summer long in terms of like who's going to get the media attention. It's weird.
Should have said it like before everybody loved Raymond. Like the show that set the stage for 5 to 6 constantly viewed seasons of Northern Exposure. You know, which Twin Peaks.
Well, Northern Exposure at least has a lot to do with Twin Peaks.
Does it?
Well, it came out at the same time, so there was that.
More than Game.
It's good. It was good actually, Northern Exposure as a whole. But
I liked it, yeah.
But the difference between all those shows is those have all gone for multiple seasons, and Twin Peaks was over and done with before, season 2 had even concluded. So,
well, it was viewed as a problem, wasn't it? Twin Peaks. That's the trouble.
Right.
Like the problem child, kind of.
But I mean, like, isn't it kind of weird though that Mark Frost isn't being highlighted in any of these trailers? It's just all David Lynch again. I mean, I know he wants to probably just be kind of the guy in the shadows doing stuff, but it is a little bizarre since his book came out and everything that, they're not talking about. But in this trailer, they're talking about Mark Frost and David Lynch being a team, and yet the only person we hear from is David Lynch, and and then we get talking heads from entertainment reporters and people who run Twin Peaks websites and things like that. And I'm thinking, what insight are these people giving us about the show? It's again, they're trying to like indoctrinate like a new generation to the show, and they're either on board or they're not. They've either watched it on Netflix or they haven't. You can't get
with the guy from Welcome to Twin Peaks, Peter Dom, going like, "She's dead, wrapped in plastic." I mean, it feels like he's trying to indoctrinate a load of new Scientology followers into Twin Peaks by just trying to be like overly weird, like, come and be my friends and let's get into this whole thing and buy my t-shirts and things, which Showtime told me not to sell anymore because it's just it's embarrassing. I mean, if I was on some documentary or whatever, I wouldn't start imitating the way Pete Martell speaks. I mean, what kind of mentality is it? It's unbelievable, I find.
Are you just hurt, James, that he got asked to be on this Showtime promo and you didn't?
Imagine if we'd been invited to be on that Showtime promo. And then we saw the promo afterwards, Cameron. We'd be like, gagging. We'd be shitting ourselves. We'd be just going, Jesus, when you get paid for that crap. I mean,
if I was in a promotional trailer and I was made to look that odd, I think I would throw myself off the falls.
Well, I would have it just feels half-hearted, to be honest. I mean, I'm only saying this kind of tongue-in-cheek, really, but the people who are involved in it, I just think, I mean, you can't take them seriously, and it's not like they've got Mark Commode there talking about how I Walk With Me was, or it's just going back to this sort of this cult-like type. Like I said, it's almost like a Scientology video, and it just goes into this random footage somebody's done down near a little bit of a stream where they live or something. So it's got nothing to do with Twin Peaks.
Well, they're doing the same thing that they did back in 1990. They're playing up the wacky humor, the donuts, the coffee, and it's like, why don't we remind people this has to do about a man who raped and murdered his own child?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, but they come on. How hard is it? This is made by Showtime. How hard is it for them to get official footage or something of the area? Instead, it's like they just get this black and white shot of like what looks like a church door or church railings.
Well, I personally don't want to hear from Lynch and Frost until I see the complete show.
Yeah.
When I read a book or when I see a new movie, I do not want to hear the creator before it what he thinks of it.
Yeah, but they're not talking about the new series. They're talking about the old series.
Yes, absolutely. And I think at this point it's hard to find somebody who can talk about the new series. I mean, the work itself will talk for itself, like that new trailer with the new characters that talked volumes to me.
Yeah.
But
are we worried for how sick Miguel Ferrer looks in that trailer? I mean,
yes,
he does, doesn't he? He does.
Yes.
He looks so bad. Yeah, it's quite upsetting actually. I found that was the first thing I saw when I saw that sketch. I actually felt that
Cameron, you were criticizing him rather harshly in your last video.
What did I say?
Well, you said he looks wooden, like.
No, well, just that shot. Who knows how it plays in the finished show, but in that shot, it looks like an improvised moment where Miguel Ferrer didn't even know they were getting up.
Well, he was on the verge of death then.
Yeah.
No, and that's another thing I brought up in the video.
Why are you laughing? That's not funny.
James.
I mean, he wasn't on the verge of death when he was starring in that. He declined.
Well, he was terminally ill. He was terminally ill, and I think it's wonderful that he took the time to participate.
I'm not laughing at the actual predicament. I'm laughing at Vin's language and.
Yeah,
but
I don't think he was. I don't think he was as bad when he was making Twin Peaks.
I think he was. I think he did it.
He looks same thing
as Catherine Nicholson. I think they knew that this was going to be the final thing they did.
What do you mean he looks very ill? He doesn't look that bad. What exactly are you saying?
It's his mannerisms, the way that he moves.
It might just be that. It might just be that shot. Like
you're right. Yeah.
It does look like he's just sort of taken off. He just sort of goes
right because
like,
when they did that,
what's going on? Yeah.
When they did the interview with him, previous in that other trailer, he looks fine.
Yeah.
But just that.
Yeah, but I think that was filmed around the same sort of time.
I'll tell you though, I think what it is, I think it's the lighting and I think it's the digital photography because HD is, really clear and you can really see that he's not feeling all that well. That's all I'm saying in that shot.
It did make me feel sad, I must say. But
right, and that's the thing that
blog lady is just writing in. She says she feels like it was an improvised scene with Miguel.
Right. Yeah, I feel. Yes,
I don't know. What she said. But.
Well, that's the other thing about this new series is there's a few actors that are no longer with us, and it's going to be a lot like just seeing a bunch of ghosts too. I don't
know. You say that there was that shot of the new guy, the young kid.
Right.
That was that's probably all the most engaging shots in the entire trailer.
To me also.
He's a new character. That you can trust in Lynch with that you're going to get that engagement with these new characters. Like. Do you not agree that one shot was probably, I think, one of the most emotive in the entire trailer?
I thought that shot looked. I mean, I liked it, but I thought someone had spliced in Bates Motel into the trailer because it just looked like what is going on. We're the only new old characters we're really seeing are Cooper and Big Ed, and we get Miguel Ferrer and David Lynch in this though as well. But we haven't seen Audrey, we haven't seen Cheryl Lee, we haven't seen Laura Dern, we don't know who Ashley Judd is, we don't know who any of these people are. And they're
Laura Dern.
I don't know. I don't think that's Laura Dern in heavy makeup.
Do you not think so?
No.
Oh, I don't know. I'm a bit on the line with that one. I'm not quite sure.
No,
I think we found that it was
videos,
it was another actress, wasn't it? And she's been in a music video or something.
She's got a few videos.
Yeah, but I watched that and I
YouTube.
still wasn't convinced. I wasn't convinced it was her. I don't know.
I would be shocked if they're showing Laura Dern in all these variety magazines and other promotional shoots, and then when we see her in the show, she looks like that.
Yeah, you might be right, Cam. You might be right.
Go ahead, Debbie.
I wouldn't be surprised though if a lot of the bigger name actors don't play big roles.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised at all if some of the younger, lesser known actors actually play more.
Well, from an economic point of view, you can't expect Naomi Watts to be, in the show.
Naomi Watts agreed to put a giant rabbit's head on, and for David Lynch, well, he shot 45 minutes.
I think they agreed on certain. The only person getting a major wage from this
David Lynch
was McLaughlin, and then everybody else.
Kyle, yeah,
just pretty much.
as always.
David Lynch could tell Naomi Watts to do pretty much whatever he wanted, and she would say, "Yes, David." That's just the kind of she's loyal, as Laura Dern is. What?
Well, I didn't know she was so loyal.
She put a giant rabbit's head on.
She didn't sound too respectful in that interview, ladies of Twin Peaks or whatever, when she was with Laura Dern. I thought she should show him least respect.
Well, I don't think I
She was
read
throwing shade at Lynch.
what happened in
She
it.
was being bitchy.
Well,
She said, that Lynch, when he was directing me, he was shit.
no, because what happens is that David Lynch works with Laura Dern. He works with Cheryl Lee numerous times. He works with Naomi Watts a few times. And then Lynch goes on interviews and say, Laura Dern is the best actress I've ever worked with. So, some of these other actresses probably get a little bit like, well, hey, I thought I was your favorite.
Yeah.
Well, tidbit.
Sherilyn Fenn knows that she's his favorite.
It is interesting that we have not seen Sherilyn Fenn in any of the promotional materials except for that Entertainment Weekly thing.
Yeah.
Mm.
I haven't noticed that, but it's interesting when you mention it.
Same with
I think-
Leland. We haven't seen anything of
Yeah.
Leland.
Right.
That's bizarre because I thought he was pitched at one of the top
Who did we not
in
see?
the cast
Chris?
list. Raymond Wise, right at the top, isn't he?
Raymond. Yeah.
Raymond Wise,
I don't think we're going to see a lot of Sherilyn Fenn. I've just got that feeling.
What, from her tweets?
You mean nudity?
But I can't wait to see her. I just can't wait.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see.
She's so iconic. She's
Me
very
too.
iconic.
I am absolutely. I'm beside myself thinking about seeing Sherilyn. I know. I put on my best leather pantaloons for the moment.
I still maintain that Laura Dern will play Diane.
We don't want to see Diane though. We don't want to see. The whole point about Diane is you don't see who she is. That's what makes her majestical. That's what makes the whole fucking thing. You don't want to see Diane.
Yeah, come on.
It'll ruin the entire series if you fucking saw who Diane was.
It will ruin the entire series.
Yes, I generally think that's one of the things that makes it so special is those little things that you don't know things about. And that's what keeps it on track. And you need to keep those things in the bushes. I don't think you can, throw that out there. I think if honestly they bring Laura Dern out and it's Diane, I think that's just going to be so lame. So lame.
I agree with Chris. I see her as an FBI agent in charge of the case.
Yeah, more along that lines, yeah.
So you think she's Tamara Preston?
Maybe not Tamara Preston, but along those lines.
All of these more famous actors and actresses, you can't immediately just give them FBI roles just because they're famous, like everybody else.
Yeah, you can. You can, of course you can.
No, why can't Laura Dern just be a resident of the Fat Trap Trailer Park or something like that? I would enjoy that.
I think Laura Dern's the girl with the fucking black hair, but everyone laughed at me at that.
It's you got Naomi Watts was like, Lynch, I'm only in it if I'm FBI. All right, I've got to be showing my badge there and say this has got the sting of the 48 hour blend, or else I'm not doing it.
Honestly, out of all the characters we've seen, the shot that just was like, I was like, wow, that's a really different way of looking at him. Was the Harry Dean Stanton like sitting on the bench with like him looking up at like the
Oh, I
heavens?
love it.
Love that
He
shot.
looks so
Love
sad.
that shot.
Yeah, because I'm trying to figure out, like, we've never seen Carl, even though he's only in Fire Walk with Me for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
We've never seen him in that light before. So they're really gonna. I think they're gonna explore that character.
Do you think we've already seen Tamara Preston in the most recent, the new Faces thing?
You think is that her saying "try me"? Is that or
Yeah,
no?
try me.
I was thinking. No, I was thinking more.
No,
the
that
ginger
is
girl on the
Zima.
bed. I was thinking more of the ginger girl on the bed with the.
No. Tomorrow's the girl that says "try me," isn't it? I thought that instantly.
I kind of thought that the girl that says "try me" might be somebody else's sort of daughter because she seems very.
Oh no, I thought she was an FBI. I thought she was.
And I have this theory. I have this theory: the girl on the bed in her underwear is basically like the way Leland Palmer was going after, prostitutes. I think that Cooper as Bob, this is one of the prostitutes, and she knows Bob is coming into the motel room eager for fun.
Right. Yeah. Well. Yeah.
That's sad, but it's true. I agree, Cameron.
Yeah.
Well, when Bob is eager for fun, he wants more than sex.
Everybody run.
That would be very sad.
Then you looked very happy when you said that. I just want to point that out.
Did I?
Yeah.
I feed on fear.
Did I?
Bit dark.
I feed on fear.
Right.
Yeah,
Right, so-
well, you have a very
Right, Jake.
scholarly approach to things, indeed, very scholarly.
I'm an
Not-
artist, James.
Not as scholarly as Donald Trump.
All right. So moving on, would like to bring up someone who is probably not going to be in this new series, even though James continues to think he will be, and that is Mr. Michael J. Anderson, who, of course, took to Facebook last night for another one of his epic rants.
Oh my
And
God,
I would
what did I miss? What did I
And
miss?
I would like to read what he wrote last night because it's just epic poetry here. He writes, "I couldn't watch Twin Peaks when it originally aired because it was so boring," all capital letters. "Every time I tuned in, it was people talking in a room. That's it. And if I stayed long enough to hear what they were saying, they would be talking about nothing," all caps. "I figured out that I couldn't follow the plot, or I had to make one up, because there was no plot. A man went to a town to investigate a murder. That's it. Nothing else ever happens. Just people talking in rooms, and all this talking never advanced the murder investigation one bit," all caps. "I liked the part that I was in because I was in it, but it still didn't make a hoot of sense. This show was hard to watch."
Come on, you gotta laugh at that bit.
That is
I like the bit I
language of
was
a
in
sane
because
person.
I'm in it.
So
Yeah.
obviously he had no problem coming back for Fire Walk with Me and cashing those checks.
Well, you like the bit that he was in.
He had no problems being in the Industrial Symphony. He had no problems agreeing to star in Ronnie Rocket for David Lynch. So apparently he didn't have that horrible of a time.
But he completely forgot about all the scenes of people talking outside.
Yeah, well, and people talked inside the red room as well. So, but anyway, let's just go around and discuss. Obviously, we know he's probably mentally ill, but at the same time, it's like he's going on these epic rants. James, I know you're convinced that this is all a big ruse and that he's actually in the new show, and that this is a conspiracy that Lynch and him have concocted. So why don't you tell us a little bit about this wild theory of yours?
Well, yeah, I think that unless somebody puts pictures of him on the Sunset Strip, sort of like dragging a trolley behind him and picking up cigarette butts and stuff like that, and muttering to himself, I have no definite indication that he's suffering from such a level of a mental illness that it's made him unable. I mean, he's typing this stuff on his computer, and it's pretty coherent, but some of it is pretty funny. Even the part that I found it funny. It's like he's parodying this whole, dumbing down of things now, and he's extolling Trump and all this kind of stuff now on his account. And it all just seems too ridiculous for me to believe, basically.
A bit far-fetched,
he's just taking all of the Twin Peaks fans for a ride and just going.
But I don't think
Come
Showtime.
on, I only like the bits I was.
I don't think Showtime would want him and Lynch creating this kind of,
Buzz.
Well, no, I don't think there's any. I'm not saying that it's all like a ruse in terms of there's some deliberate kind of like they all sat down and agreed. No, I don't think so. But I think Michael Jansen's agreed with himself that he's going to be a complete asshole. But it's kind of like maybe he is in the new show in some respect, because he replied to somebody who I have spoken to a lot, and he said about the owls are not what they seem, and he sort of Neil, this guy, responded saying, "What do you mean by this?" And he's not responded yet. So don't you think it's all a bit too overblown and kind of ridiculous to just say, right, this is all just, and in a way it's almost a bit like disrespecting truly mentally ill people who are just on Sunset Strip, picking up cigarette butts and muttering to themselves to classify him as that, really. I mean, and the stuff about murdering his daughter or raping her and stuff like that. I mean, he didn't murder Jennifer Lynch, but the stuff about murdering his friends and all that, and Jack Nance, etc. It's kind of like Lynchian humor to some degree. So,
well, see, I think it's the opposite. I think that he's basically, killing any shot of him ever working with David Lynch again, or working in Hollywood ever again.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I just don't take it. I think he's too old to be thinking about carrying on working. So I don't think he really cares.
No, he certainly doesn't care. I'll give you that. But I just think that this coming week, we're going to be seeing a lot of emotions happening. Twin Peaks fans are going to be going through a variety of emotions. One guy posted on Twitter about how he wanted to sleep over the next 8 days until the new Twin Peaks. And Mark Frost wrote back saying, if you do that, you're going to miss stuff that's going to drop this week. So obviously there's more stuff coming out. And then obviously Michael J. Anderson. I mean, he's, Twin Peaks is coming back.
Maybe he was referring to this thing that Michael J. Anderson posted.
Well, no, but what I'm saying is Michael J. Anderson is like, if he's not in this new thing and Twin Peaks is coming back and everyone's getting all amped up for it again, he's going to feel a little awkward about not being a part of this huge thing again. And so he's going to lash out about it. It does come across as bitter. I'll give you that. I mean, he had no problems being in that Reflections on Twin Peaks, quote unquote documentary. So, maybe him hanging out with Josh Eisenstadt finally got to him. I have no idea, but it just obviously he had no problems doing publicity for Twin Peaks for 25 years, and now all of a sudden he hates the damn thing.
I don't know. It just seems too ridiculous to think that a guy who's like in his 60s now or whatever is just ranting bitterly on his computer, like, and then just to think of how small he is now and stuff, just combined with that.
Anybody else have a theory?
Well, I think we talked about this in one of the... James, can I say something?
That didn't make any sense whatsoever, did it? When you're that small, you would get over things more because you've had so many problems in your life.
James, let me stop you right there. All right. We have a comment here from Leonard. He writes, Michael J. Anderson was my neighbor for a while in the 90s. He was a very sweet person. It's pretty upsetting how he's acting online. Adama writes, I doubt Michael J. Anderson has any impact on one single person other than reverse PRing himself into total sadness. And Leonard continues, says, I think he's having a manic episode. That's sad.
You know how
reverse PRing himself into total sadness. That's like a flipping Radiohead lyric or something. That's like Julius Adama. But
go ahead, Vin. Yeah. What were you going to say?
I just wanted to say that I'm glad that his absence is covered in the first show by his words. When you see me next time, it won't be me.
Oh, please don't start saying that.
Yes.
Well, that was referring to the doppelganger later in that.
You're trolling us, aren't you?
Well, that's not certain. I think it was referring to the future. When I watched it, I always thought...
But in the future... which we saw in the missing pieces and Fire Walk with Me, it's still the little man.
Well, I don't know much, but I think in America it's all about contracts and money. So if they did not get the money right and the contract was not signed,
whereas in other countries, people
there's
make TV
no
for free. They're like, let's just do it.
I think there's
just a bunch of like
I just
random.
think we won't see him. We won't see him in this new show. That's my feeling.
Do you think his role has been recast, or do you think?
Of course, there must be ghouls, there must be demons, there must be Black Lodge, but I think there will be new.
Doesn't necessarily mean that there has to be the arm, though, does it?
Yeah, maybe Mike will have arms.
Yeah.
Maybe Mike got his arm back.
That would be a way of doing it. I mean, we're getting the Giant back in this new series, and the Giant wasn't in Fire Walk with Me, so.
Maybe I know what happened with Philip Michael Gerard, or whatever his name is. Sorry, Philip Michael Gerard.
I thought you were going to say Anthony Michael Hall for a second.
He had a third leg extension, and then he had an prosthetic arm, a new arm. Like there was telescopic, and this will help catch Bob. It's going to be like, yeah, telescopic arm time.
Yeah, like Inspector Gadget.
Yeah, ding, 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 ding.
Go Gadget Garmin Bozia.
Yeah.
That's what happened just after we saw that shot cut off where Cooper's walking. He's like, don't go down that way, Cooper. That's the wrong way. Wrong way.
And then he goes, check this shit out. I've got a big arm.
Well, let's talk about that real quick. In the trailer, in the It's Happening Again trailer, we see Cooper walking down this like dark hallway. It looks like Inland Empire, but somebody else took that image and blew it up with light, and you can see it's Cooper walking down the hallway following the one-armed man. Now that's really cool. Because obviously Mike and Bob are hanging out together again. Go ahead, Debbie.
Did he have one or two arms?
I don't think we can see that. I think he's got a jacket on, and the typical, like, that grey jacket he used to have, and jacket.
I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if it was Cooper though. Did anybody else think it looked like Leland? Is that just me? I don't know. There was something about the quiff that was, I don't know. Wasn't sure.
But he's from behind. How can you see his quiff even?
You can with the light shining back on it.
You mean the obvious? It's obviously supposed to be Cooper, right, in that shot.
That's what I wasn't sure of.
Well, I think that could be a really interesting aspect to the new show. If every time Cooper just goes and looks in the mirror, he sees.
So James, Sven wants to know, how can we say for sure that's the one-armed man? You can answer this question because you answered it for me.
They did a GIF of it on Dugba, and it is a sort of a capture of that moment, moving, and lasts for about 5 seconds, and it's all blown up, brightness, and you can actually see the way he walks. He has a certain gait, kind of a bit bow-legged to be kind of cool. Al Strobel.
It's definitely
not rickets. Basically, in this, what we celebrate in this podcast is talking about people nearing death or infirmity or mental illness, and just mocking it, really. I think I'd like to go against what they say. Let's bring it out into the open, talking about mental illness, which the Conservative Party say they want to do, despite cutting all services and stuff. But I think we should not discuss any mental illness at all or infirmity. Joe looks very.
Speaking of that, we have been joined by Mr. Joe Powers. How's it going, Joe?
Speaking of mental illness, we're joined by Joe. What?
How are you feeling today? I know you were sick yesterday.
A little better. My voice is a little better, but.
So, Joe, what are you doing over this next week to get yourself prepared for the new Twin Peaks?
Well, I have someone who's gonna make cherry pie for me for Sunday.
Fucking
And,
lucky.
I have to get some folding chairs because I'll be having a viewing party next Sunday with a few people.
If people start talking during the episode, are you gonna knock them above the head with the chair or what?
Yeah, it's like, my friends are all talking about like, having drinks and this and that, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm starting the party like at 5 or 6. If I have a few drinks, I'm not gonna be able to watch Twin Peaks and pay attention. And I don't think I'm gonna drink because I need to pay attention.
We got 4 hours dropping that first night. I mean, that's insane. That's
I know.
the equivalent of 2 Fire Walk with Me's. So
Yes, and I have to say, I'm
Well,
really
not necessarily
excited
in the UK though.
about
Yeah, I was
having
just going to say we might not.
2 Fire Walk with Me's.
But in a way, I'm grateful. If it's just 2 hours here, then I'll
Is
catch
that
up with
Debbie
you.
on the podcast with us?
Hi.
She's
Yeah,
next to you,
Debbie,
Joe.
I just had to say Fire Walk with Me in my accent for you.
is your what?
Thank you.
She likes the way my accent sounds when I say Fire Walk with Me.
Ah.
Walk with me. I can't do that.
This Twin Peaks podcast has become the dating show. Apparently, we got we got Vin.
Goodwill
We got,
Hunting part
we
two.
got Vin, who before the podcast told us that he was having a horrible
No,
week.
please. No personal details.
All right, but
What did he say?
he said go to grinder.com for a good time, James.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm already on there anyway. I've had no success.
Hey,
So-
that's rude.
So let's
Talk,
go ahead, Debbie.
no one's talking about these 2 hours that we're not going to get in the UK, though.
But you will get them the next week, right?
I know, but it's a long
Yeah, it just means we have to stay off the internet for a week.
Hold the
doesn't it?
fuck on. What? Sorry, what? What?
Well,
What?
Showtime's
What?
website,
What? What?
Showtime's website gets 3 and 4 on Sunday, and we might not. Well, we probably could watch it. We'd have to
So I've got
seek it
one
out
left
online.
on
But
it. Are you joking? Fucking Christ.
Yeah.
Are you shitting me?
What?
Cameron's going to turn his camera around for us.
Oh, didn't you?
right?
Yeah, didn't you guys know? I'm gonna set up my cameras so that I can live stream it to you guys.
So what, everyone gets 1 and 2, and then
yeah,
only the select few get fucking 3 and 4. How is that a fucking rollout? That is bullshit.
No, I'm sure we might get them here. Who knows? But it's just not being made clear yet.
yeah.
I'm sure you'll be able to find them easily online anyway.
I put a day off
Just-
work, James.
Just
There's a comment. Leonard says people are going
Well, you'll be able to find them. I'm
people
sure.
are going to be sharing the hell out of those episodes 3 and 4 online because if they
Fucking
Yeah.
Christ.
I
Literally,
imagine. I'm hoping
take a
that they'll
holiday
just
off
come on.
work.
I'm hoping that they'll just come on demand as soon as the first 2 have been on for us.
But what's weird is that we're going to get 4 episodes, and then that leaves us only 14 left. And so, I mean, this new season's going to go really fast.
And then we're probably going to get the last 2 in the last week, aren't we? Probably.
Yeah.
How long has the last season lasted you? Think about that. The past 2 seasons have lasted you this long. So how long is the next season going to last you? So,
Lasted me probably 67 years now.
yeah. Do you reckon?
Because I actually went back in time and took the gold box with me to
Yeah.
the 1940s and watched it there with my friend Dr.
You had to take. Take the player there with you.
Nick
It will definitely have a lot of longevity.
Nick
That's
says
what I've been thinking about as
there's-
well.
there's only one way to watch season 3 of Twin Peaks: in complete darkness with cherry pie and coffee. So we have someone furiously typing, and Debbie's arm showed up. I thought Philip Gerard was here.
Josh, are you in the red room? What's going on with your camera?
No, I was trying to give that
It
effect.
looks super fucking scary.
So
Where are you?
let me
Bored.
let me.
But that one-
There's probably going to be a variety of answers to this one, but do you think at the end of this season 3 that it will be? I mean, let's be honest. There's going to be and answer little questions here and there, blah 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 blah. But do you think at the end of season 3 it will be more or less contained, so that there's going to be some sort of closure to the overall story of Twin Peaks, so they don't come back and do a season 4, then we can just all move on? Or do you think it's going to be another how's Annie? I don't think it's going to be that, though. I think we're going to get closure.
I'd be pretty pissed if they did that.
Well, if they did that, it would just signal,
Go ahead, Debbie.
I was going to say, there's a small part of me that kind of wishes that happens. And then 25 years from now, we'll all be dead. So.
Yeah.
Well,
if Kim Jong Un,
bloody hell,
if Kim Jong Un keeps saying over missiles, we might not even see the end of this season.
Maybe Kim Jong Un does the next. Maybe Kim Jong Un does.
Well, I think MJA's friend Trump is a bigger problem than Kim Jong Un.
Well, I didn't vote for Trump, unlike certain people. So.
Who voted for Trump?
Well, only Cameron is a U.S. citizen.
No, Joe.
No, Joe is.
And Joe.
I actually said that to a person at work today, and they're talking about politics. They all hate Trump and this and that. And I said, look, as long as the Armageddon comes after the 3rd or 2nd week of September, I don't care. You can blow us up, whatever. As long as we get to see this in its entirety, it's okay.
So another thing that I was bringing up last night is how much money I've already invested into this new series, because I'm paying $40-something to be able to watch it on Showtime over 4 months. Then I'm going to buy the streaming version so that when I discontinue my Showtime membership, I'll have it. And then, of course, I'm going to buy the Blu-ray extras. I'm a Blu-ray. Hopefully, Showtime does release it on Blu-ray, because sometimes these cable stations will only release DVDs and not Blu-rays. So I'm looking at about between $100 and $110 for this entire series.
That's well worth 27 years of your life, though, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's almost like Twin Peaks is becoming like Star Wars-ish with all these box sets and re-releases and streaming and.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not as heavily, not as sort of much. It's not like Guardians of the Galaxy 2, where you just go into the town and it's like, you've got to see this film. Basically, this promos everywhere for it. So if you think it looks completely boring or not your thing,
See,
it's like forcing you to see it.
See, I agree with Leonard here. He says that he believes that there's going to be a happy ending at the end of the series. I do too. I think, like I was saying last night, I think this new series is about the redemption of Agent Cooper and about the resurrection of Laura Palmer. I think it's going to end with Laura being pulled out of the lodge. I think that she's going to be alive at the end of the series, and I think Cooper's going to be leaving town.
No, I agree. That's a great opinion.
But she can't be alive, for God's sake.
That sounds like the end of some kind of born again Christian sort of novel.
You have to understand how much David Lynch loves Cheryl Lee, loves Laura Palmer. There's no way.
But she can't be alive physically. I mean, she's dead.
Basically, he's going to do the Exorcist 2 ending again of just. And have her kind of pulled out, and like she's just like this.
Well, I like to see Laura, but I doubt she will resurrect.
So we're just going to get Angel Laura again at the end, basically.
As a cousin, maybe as some kind of a spiritual presence, but physically no.
JB writes he wants to see Michael J. Anderson with Donald Trump taking a picture together. And Adamo writes, nobody should watch episodes 3 and 4 on your phones. As Twin Peaks fans, we're worth more than that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know where that comes from.
Yeah, are they in a cab or something? Are they in a black cab? What's going on? Why are they watching that on a fucking phone? It's weird.
So, James, we were talking about earlier, and just going back real quick to the Michael J. Anderson thing. If he does show up in this new series, I maintain that Twin Peaks fans will riot. And you responded to me that would be a good thing in this community. So you want to see Twin Peaks fans riot if Michael J. Anderson shows up.
Well, the kind of people who respond in that kind of way, I think, you know, they don't really deserve to call themselves Twin Peaks fans, because, you know, you've got to realize that Michael J. Anderson is an actor, so he has every right to write stuff about having sex with his daughter and murdering his best friends.
What are you talking about?
It's fine,
Yes,
you know.
and people have the right to respond how they want as well.
No, but I don't agree. I think that the fans should respond in a more measured and scholarly approach, like me, and try and understand why, you know, MJ is doing this. He's doing this because he got memos from Lynch saying, okay, this is where we've got to present it so that nobody will guess that you pop up in an episode and suddenly go, oh, I'm alive. And everyone goes, yeah.
I would like to ask Cameron. Do you think perhaps MJA, they have old footage when they were filming Fire Walk with Me with MJA, and they could insert it in the new show? Is that possible at all?
You'd still need publishing rights for that, wouldn't you? You have to pay publishing for that. You couldn't just do it.
I mean,
you'd have to have his confirmation, wouldn't you?
Yeah, they just would have to pay him. I mean, that's pretty much it. We do have
Cameron,
some.
Can I interrupt for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
Remember in the last episode, he said, "When you see me again,
there we go.
It won't be me." So
yeah,
maybe it'll be somebody else.
I know, but we've already covered that many times.
I support that scholarly theory, but the two learned doctors, James and Cameron,
and Josh,
violently
opposed.
Yeah, I don't go by that either.
Josh is from Lancaster Castle University of utmost scholarly tweediness, and he says in his new tome, 369 pages, with an intro by Eamon Holmes, another great scholar, that it didn't mean that, and Lynch and Frost say so, and they've done it on graffiti down behind Superdrug in Lancaster. We did not mean that. IDST. so forget it.
Julia says in the chat that he thinks this new season is going to be a long and dark nightmare, but will have a happy ending. Philippe thinks that this show is going to end like Inception. That's interesting. Let's see.
Maybe it'll be like Matrix Reloaded. Or...
I know that's your dream, right? Your dream is to see Cooper go.
That's my worry. That's
with two guns in hand. Antonio Banderas just blowing Bob out of Snoqualmie.
And it's like there's like 5 million Michael J. Andersons just jumping on him, like and throwing him through buildings.
And 20,000 Bobs just screaming.
You want to see Cooper versus 100 Bobs?
Yeah, I'd love that.
Free falling off the falls, you know, in slow motion with all. Just
I will tell you, if you create a Twin Peaks video game like that, that would be worth playing. You could just like take on 100 Bobs on the top of the falls. As Cooper with a black leather jacket, be great. Logan writes, somebody asked Michael J. Anderson, how would your life have been different without Twin Peaks? And Michael J. Anderson responded, I would have continued my career at NASA.
Well, he said, without his David Lynch, without his hollow promises. So like, what exactly did Lynch promise him? A career in like porn or something? It's just, I don't really bitter. Like, I was going to be the man. I was going to be Dirk Diggler. Like, what did he really expect? I mean, he's done really well, considering. Jesus. Considering he's a bloody midget. Jesus
Christ. James, I'm about to mute your microphone.
Cameron, can I have a fag, please?
It's a joke. That was a joke.
Cameron, I must have a fag, please.
For those of you who don't know, he's referring to a cigarette. He's not throwing out homosexual slurs on this live podcast.
Thank you so much.
Johnny Val, he was in Industrial Symphony #1. What more does he want? Bloody hell. We've invited him to Lancaster for chippy tea on Friday with Debbie and Josh and stuff. It'd be great. MGA, get down. He's just unappreciative of all his fans, basically.
Well, I'll tell you something that I'm definitely appreciative of, and that is, let me just pull it up here because, of course, it closed. Let's see here. Feel free to talk, anybody.
Well, the blog lady says Laura being alive at the end sounds like the end of the Disney movie Watcher in the Woods, which I mentioned a long time ago, and because it's one of my film favorites. And I think that actually Lynch and Frost really liked that film and basically stole just the way Laura dresses in Firewalk with Me in many, many aspects from that film and just put them in Twin Peaks, to be honest. But
so, since we have Debbie here, I have a question for her. We got on the Twin Peaks Worldwide page, we got contacted by someone who's on the page named Shane, and he sent us a picture of his girlfriend who got one of the double R waitress outfits from I believe Hot Topic, and he wrote us saying that he came home from work and found her on the porch in this outfit, and he sent us a lovely photo. This is the kind of photo that if I was 23, 24 years old, I would have ran off and joined the circus. Whatever this girl wanted me to do, I would have just... for those of you who are not on the page, go to Twin Peaks Worldwide and look up the picture. So, Debbie, I have to ask you, I know you're married. Are you going to get one of these outfits and, stroll around your house for your husband?
I'm out of this podcast now.
bit sexist.
Yeah.
Well,
James, I'm actually getting one of those.
Are you going to get one, Cameron?
I'm getting one, and I'm wearing it tight on my
James.
ass.
No, I'm just curious because.
Are you going to get little?
The reason why I ask is because James was making a joke earlier, saying that back in the day in the 1990s, if we even met a girl that even heard about Twin Peaks, she would be like, "Ugh, what the hell? That show's so weird. Let's turn on Ally McBeal," And now it seems like the hot new thing to do is dress up as the double R diner waitress, and we live in magical times, ladies and gentlemen, magical times.
I know, I see it all the time here in Derbyshire. It's just women walking down the street all the time, going for chippy teas and stuff.
Yeah,
dressed in double R diner, with like massive asses. They're like, like they've just had about 4 children, and they're walking down through the council estate like, "Hey, I'm really into Twin Peaks,"
pushing a pram with a bag on and that. Yeah.
And clutching a bottle of 2020.
So now that we know they're releasing these double R diner waitress outfits, are we hoping for like a Bob outfit? I mean, what kind of outfits do we want to see? I
want some one-eyed
Jack outfits
to wear.
Yeah, I agree. I do think that Hot Topic should release that One-Eyed Jack's prostitute outfit. That would be really good.
Yeah.
Hey.
What, Debbie?
Why don't they have the Laura Murder outfit? Oh, nice.
Which outfit was that?
Kind of like bloodied garments and stuff, and it's like a and stuff, wasn't she? Although no, it was underwear basically, like a silvery thing.
Where is the conversation going?
That's what I'm interested in seeing. We never had this many people on here talking about undergarments.
Yeah, but there are fans like that. I mean, but they don't go the full thing of like. I think that some fans should actually recreate the Laura Murder and then.
Sven says that he would like to see a whole line of Dick Tremaine men's fashions.
Oh God, fuck that! No, what? Seriously?
David Hutcherson would like to see a Big Ed wig and mustache from the One-Eyed Jack's raid.
Can I just say I'm loving Big Ed's new haircut in the new series? You noticed that? Have you noticed?
Yeah. Dirty Boy Sing to God says they should release.
Got a wedge.
Dirty Boy Sing to God says they should release the Wyndham Earl Leo horse outfit. That would be sexy.
I agree with Leneg though about going to be so many TP posers in the coming months. Fake fans, makes me so angry. Also, I'm an adult.
Didn't we do a video about this where you flat out said that Showtime was going to ban hipsters?
No, but I basically think that only people like me who I actually worked for the FBI 5 years and experienced many cases like the ones, you know, in the program. Only people like me should be allowed to watch.
We got a message from Eric, who's been on this podcast several times, and he went and watched Fire Walk with me inside the sawmill at Snoqualmie last night, and he sent me a message saying, Cameron, you wouldn't believe the amount of hipsters here. James would be happy.
Oh, that makes me sick just thinking of it.
Well,
I don't know why I didn't torch the mill again with the hipsters in it.
Well, the thing that usually happens with hipsters at review screenings is called ironic laughter. So I wonder what in Fire Walk with Me they were ironically laughing at.
I bet there were some of them actually having like sex during the murder scene of Laura in Fire Walk. Like having like, ironic sex and filming.
Adama writes, once Twin Peaks is done, can the Bring Back Twin Peaks page become Bring Back Ronnie Rocket?
No, it become Bring Back Twin Peaks again.
Again.
When the series finishes, you know,
hang on, James. We got Memoirs of a Geisha happening over here with Vin. What's going on over here?
Fan? Is that a fan?
Oh, okay. All of a sudden,
cool.
I thought it was trapped in a Rob Marshall.
It looks like, actually, it does look like Buffalo Bill. Doesn't he have one of those fans? if fans started dancing around with
Vin, come up to the camera and say, "Would you fuck me?"
I'm glad I can't.
Cameron, why do you always go way too far?
You're the one that's insulting midgets over there.
I never said anything bad.
All right. Anyway,
I mean, I'm good. I'm a good boy.
But I do think that after the series is done, I think Netflix will come to Lynch and want him to do some made-for-Netflix movies, and that's where we'll get Ronnie Rocket or something like that. Because I don't think we're going to get a season 4 of Twin Peaks. Yeah, because I don't think we're going to get a season 4 of Twin Peaks. I mean, I think that what we're going to get, I think with this new season, we're going to get a replay of the original series again. I think we're going to get.
No. I think it's going to be a sign-off, and I think then he's going to fuck off and maybe possibly do it.
No, what I'm saying though is I think the audience, James, I think that there'll be a turnout, a huge turnout. But by the end of
beckoning Joe back in.
But by the end of the series, I think it will have slipped off into what the ratings were, you know, for the end of season 2.
Do you think it's going to like almost alienate people? Okay.
No, I think people are just going to drop off. 18 weeks on cable is a long time, especially.
It is.
Cameron, you are so positive. You are.
It's such a strange. This is never really happened before, has it?
The ratings will start off like this, and then just in the last 2 episodes, it'll go like this. Woo! Because there'll be like there'll be a proper hardcore sex scene between Cooper and Farrell at
Dirty Boy
penetration show.
I think you've got to appreciate this. Like, this has never happened before. There's never been a 25-year gap before. No, people have never waited this long to see a resolution to something. They have never waited this long.
Unusual, definitely, yeah.
In fact, it was so long that people were initially telling Joe and James, "Why are you even wanting the show to come back? It's not going to come back, and if it does, it's going to be shit."
Just give up. Yeah. And
they said that it was lightning in a bottle, and that they didn't want to see a tanned, basically, that's the American way of saying it, dyed hair Cooper, you know, wandering around, going on about donuts and stuff when he's like 20 stone.
No.
And it will happen. And now we've got that. We've got a severely obese Carl McLachlan walking around eating cherry pies all the time, trying to run like Matt Damon. It's not going to work.
Well, what's interesting too is they're not showing 9 episodes and then next year we get the next 9 episodes. They're doing 18 straight. So that's new for cable.
Well, I hope they're straight and not gay.
James, behave yourself.
It was sorry, but it's just Finn's bloody fan. He keeps putting it up, and every time,
Yeah.
it's like I feel like I'm having a stroke in part of my brain.
Dirty boy on here says that Red Letter Media, I don't know if you guys know who they are, but Red Letter Media is currently editing a retrospective Fire Walk With Me video. They did a really good Eraserhead one a couple months ago, so it'll be interesting to see what they say about Fire Walk With Me. What?
What's the point of that?
What's the point of that? They get like 600,000 views in one day when they do the video.
That's the point, bro. That's the point.
For a new release.
Sit back.
What?
I've been told.
So,
but is there a new DVD release or a new Blu-ray or something? Why are they doing that?
Because Twin Peaks is in the air. And a lot of YouTube channels want the clicks, and so they are all. If you start Googling Twin Peaks and David Lynch right now, you'll see YouTube channels that never even talk about Twin Peaks and David Lynch talking about it. And once the numbers come in from the first night, believe me, that's when you're going to see people you never thought would ever talk about Twin Peaks talk.
Cameron, I would never have known this if it wasn't for you. I've been so overtaken by Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 and Alien Resurrection.
I mean, Alien Covenant?
Well, no, I got confused over the title. That's actually the sequel to this one that's coming out soon.
And
I'm also looking forward to watching Death Wish 5, The Crackdown.
Okay.
That's one that like Joe, like now he looks actually like a character in Death Wish 5, The Crackdown.
Julius being a little pessimistic here, saying no matter what, he's sure that Frost will find a way back to do another season or something having to do with Twin Peaks, and he's not sure about Lynch. So obviously he thinks Mark Frost wants to continue to milk this as long as he can.
Well, no, he's like with that final dossier. He's like the final dossier. That's a pretty big sign-off, isn't it?
No, but come on,
Surely,
Christian. That does not mean it is the final. You were speaking a little bit rudely there because you were saying the final. When they call it the final,
well, of course,
Omen 3, the final conflict. Omen 4, the awakening with a little girl made for TV.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
And Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th, the final chapter was part 4 of 10 movies. So
yeah, so it's going to be called. It's going to be like the final dossier, but then there's going to be Twin Peaks. We're back. We're ready, and we're lubed.
What? James, I'm about to mute your mic. I'm gonna take a viewer poll. Let me know if you want James to stay on this podcast or you want me to protect him out. You guys can vote. Send in your votes now in the comments. I'm gonna do.
As long as he doesn't start talking about law.
Whichever gets to 20 first. Either he stays or he goes. Let me know.
No, but it could be like Twin Peaks. You're next. They just keep milking it because it's like Bob just goes after someone else. Just get a new actor and someone who doesn't look like Bob at all with some crap wig on. Just like that. Cube, what happened to Josie? Just cut back to Carl McLaughlin looking really bloated and all like, oh Jesus Christ, not more of this shit. Somebody said, no, one idea, Cameron, can I just say before we continue about they have Cooper Skyping with Harry S. Truman and he's in Hawaii.
I heard that.
What do you think of that idea? That's a good idea, right?
So James, so far it looks like you're staying. Damo says you can't kick James out. James is the spice. So you are the spice melange, apparently.
David Hutchins says out. I never knew David did.
Logan says Eamon Holmes says stay.
Yeah, well, Eamon Holmes is My spirit guide.
All right, so the crowd has spoken, James. You have been saved. You have now been resurrected. So, thank you.
Cameron, I actually got to get going, but it was nice seeing all of you.
All right, take it easy.
All right, bye, guys.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Joe.
yeah.
See.
Safe.
I think Tracy Jackson is bringing in a really pertinent discussion. So I think we're very sensitive and we like discussing things correctly. And will any of the characters have mixed race kids? I feel like Shelley may have a black son. So,
Well, she has a black son in real life.
thank you for that, Ben. That's good scholarly input. So,
David Hutchison says, "You're the bomb, James." And
that should go out earlier.
and Leonard says, "Stay, sit, lie down." So apparently you're the
Yeah, but anyway, forget about that. I just want to talk about the mixed race kids. Do you think there should be more kind of racial input in Twin Peaks?
Well, it depends if it's.
I've always tried to celebrate the kind of black aspect of Twin Peaks by bringing in the animal life bit, because I feel like I'm an advocate. Calvin Lockhart, so you know there should be others in it, surely, doing that kind of stuff. And
if it's relevant. That's the only.
Well, someone asked me last night about what they thought the music was going to be for this new series, and I've always maintained it's going to probably be like Wild at Heart, where we're going to have a lot of Badalamenti music, but because we're going to be in different parts of the globe, that we'll be utilizing music from those areas as well. It'll be a very, multi, culture type of soundtrack.
When you say multicultural music, you mean stuff like, I think that someone very good who could sing some quite touching ballads in Twin Peaks could be Mariah Carey, particularly at this stage of her career.
Well, apparently, Krista Bell is, being.
Oh, come on. She's nowhere near as good as Mariah Carey. Get real. We're talking about a real songstress. Krista Bell is just a pretender, I know she's playing some pretty big venues in the UK.
Leonard says Rachel Dolezal will show up to give Twin Peaks more color. Never mind. James Goodry says, how many of the 217 actors are African American? Lots of diversity, but not many of them are black.
Well, it's just, the town of Twin Peaks is not like massively that kind of.
There were more.
Is it?
Well, there's more Norwegians and Asians and people from. But I'll tell you one thing that will never happen in this new series: a character will not disappear and come back as an Asian man for about 10 episodes. That will never happen in this new series. A white lady coming back as an Asian man for 10 episodes. Nope, never going to happen.
Oh, that wasn't the worst thing about season 2.
No, I'm saying that
that's probably one of the better things.
No, but I'm saying one of the whole idea of cultural appropriation and people talking about that stuff today. There's no way that would fly.
That would be hurtful.
Fuck today, Come on.
No.
I mean, the thing is, like I've talked with people that run sort of like really big political correctness websites, and they said like in terms of like Wild at Heart, that they would tear that movie apart today if that movie came out with Sailor Ripley beating a black man's head against a marble floor in the opening scene of Wild at Heart. So if Lynch does anything that is sort of goes against social justice warrior type of stuff, they've already committed to tearing this thing apart on social media. So I'm anxious to see what happens there.
Yeah, I mean, if there's an Asian man killed, then with 2 exclamation marks.
All hell break loose.
If they did that again, that would be wrong. And also having a central, Asian character like Josie, who is like literally the most soporific sort of experience to watch. It's like, another Josie scene. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like mocking. That was moshing the. It was kind of mocking the Asian community just by casting Joan Jen. I feel. It's obviously a deliberate thing by Lynch.
Twin Sanity says Denise Bryson will trigger people. I don't know about that. He didn't even trigger people back then. So
I think people are already triggered.
Yeah, but if maybe it means triggers in a good way. Like if some people have that kind of transvestite tendency, they start doing
David,
it. And,
David Duchovny can trigger me any day.
Really?
No.
Oh, well, I thought Eamon was your man.
He really is, yeah. No, I just like saying things that get Vin excited. That's all it is.
Oh, I'm so excited, David.
James Goodry says Cooper as Bob should pick up all kinds of diverse prostitutes to kill. He would love it. Interesting.
What? What did he just say?
What? Yeah, what was that?
Well,
James Guidry. Are you serious, James Guidry? Can I ask about that? Because that's disturbing. It sounds like, I mean, like with Twin Peaks fans, you don't think they're going to be like Friday the 13th or Halloween type fans. Like, yeah, Michael Myers, I want to see him put an axe right through various different prostitutes or whatever, like. It's something about escapism and all that kind of thing. Maybe it's good to get your anger out in a film or whatever through some source like that. But with Twin Peaks, you kind of expect people to be a little bit more.
Well, one thing that I think is really interesting in all these teasers, we've only seen, and I guess I'm only speculating here, but it seems like we've only seen Doppelganger Cooper in these teasers. We've never seen the Cooper we know and love. In any of these, it's all just dark and serious whenever he's on the screen.
I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at that. It's Tracy Jackson's comment. Was Ed contemplating his sexuality in the last teaser trailer? And that's where we discover a late night meeting in the woods, and then he comes out of the shadows. It's Michael O'Keefe. Hello, Big Ed. Pleased to see me, are you? I am.
Adamo wants to know what's the likelihood of Mark Frost's Dossier books being produced as a cable series. It's never going to happen.
I think the final conflict one will probably be a spin-off, a free podcast you can download somewhere.
James Goodry says, no, James, I meant him having sex with a black girl or a mixed race girl because Bob seems to only go white.
Is the
What on earth?
Dark.
Dossier? Do you think the Dossier is going to be in the show or not? Do you think it's going to be the crack with that?
They may.
I think
might
it
make a
will
reference
be.
to it.
Must be.
Must be, yeah.
Tracy Jackson says, "What if Cooper's already out of the Black Lodge?" Nope, that's never going to happen. They're never going to say Cooper got out of the lodge off screen.
Yeah.
No, not going to happen. Especially since the missing pieces really made a point that he was still there. So,
yeah, but come on, Cameron. It's never going to be like your kind of Christian Scientist view of the Black and White Lodge and all that kind of thing. It's going to be way, way more complicated.
Well, we don't know what it's going to be, James. We haven't seen it yet.
Well, I'm just saying it's not going to be like your, Book of Mormon version of it.
Yes, that's me, the Book of Mormon. Jared says, do we think that Carl Rod will represent us as an audience as he did in Fire Walk with Me? Like when he broke the fourth wall and said, God damn, these people are confusing.
Yeah.
I know. I remember when I saw that, I started slapping my thigh going, like, it was like watching a pantomime or something. I was like, God damn, that's so right. Right up to this point. I always thought Cooper was really just normal.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck's going on here?
No, that's it.
And I walked out the cinema and I said, give me my money back. I thought this was a nice rural documentary about the Pacific Northwest.
Well, Harry Dean Stanton is one of those actors that demands that in his contract that he can rewrite his entire part. So, that's definitely a Harry Dean Stanton line. That's not a Lynch Ingalls line. So,
David Hutchins says, Hal, they've already discussed MGA. Yeah. So shut up, Hal.
Jesus, James.
So aggressive.
James, you don't have to attack the viewer.
It's a joke. It's just,
not everybody has all day long to sit around and discuss a show that ended 25 years ago.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, it's just David Hutchin. He's triggered me because earlier he said,
Oh,
out. I had to get out of the room.
Okay.
Then he immediately said, James, you're the bomb. It's like, so it's giving me mixed signals, and that's the thing that turns me on the most.
So let's talk about this real quick. Leonard says, Carl Rod.
Hutchin.
James, I'm trying to talk. He says,
I apologize, Halbrand.
Carl Rod being in there would negate the theory that the first 40 minutes of Fire Walk With Me is a dream. Whoever came up with that goddamn theory is an idiot. That is not a dream. The whole Teresa
Thank
Banks thing
you.
is not a
for
dream.
fuck's sake. Someone's going to fucking say it. Jesus Christ.
That was actually the guy who was on the video, John Thorne.
Well, I'm sorry. I mean, that theory is ridiculous. It's not
fucking
a dream.
ridiculous.
It was not a dream.
All they were trying to do was just get some new idea.
No, what they were trying to do is make excuses for not liking the first 40 minutes. All right. So, no, because in the script it's not a dream. In the movie it's not played as a dream. So I don't know what people are thinking about. They're just like, well, let's just like I'm sorry. And Mulholland Drive, the first 90 minutes of that movie is not a dream either. I'm sorry. People, get over yourselves. I mean, seriously, you think Mulholland Drive, 90 minutes of that movie is a goddamn dream? No, 90 minutes of that movie is the pilot for a TV show.
No, all of June is a dream.
Oh, I believe that.
That bit where,
apart
from the bit where Alicia Witt is just standing there going, with her handle. And I don't know what the hell she was doing. She was probably doing a message to Eamon Holmes or something.
Well, you are the Quizax Hatterack, so.
Yeah, but it's really good, that bit where she's just waving her arm about and stuff. I love that.
Yeah. Oh, David Hutcherson now wants you out. Just so you know.
Okay, out. Oh, sorry. Well, I wish I could make myself look better for David Hutchin. Maybe if I just stood up and got naked and
did a dance?
my penis between my legs, that would be making him happy.
I'm so loud.
Leonard says Mulholland Drive begins with the camera crashing into a bed pillow. Yes, the theatrical version does, but not the pilot. The pilot didn't begin that way. That was an afterthought. Let's see. Tracy Jackson, he agrees with us, thinking that Hawk is going to be a crucial main character in this new series. I agree. Andy, he wants to know, will Andy be less slapstick? James, is he going to be walking into boards in this new series?
They can't just do that in every scene, can they? Like, just have the same thing happen again. I mean, and at that age, it would come across as more like just undignified, like Andy smashing himself in the face with something, and then he ends up like going into hospital really for a while. It's like, it's not really seem more sad in a way, wouldn't it?
James Goodry wants to know, do you think Denise Bryson will go undercover as a prostitute and bust Cooper as Bob?
Well, she could bust a nut.
Jesus Christ.
Josh, we were in sync on that one.
Judas Priest.
Mary Poppins.
Oh my God.
I bet.
Vin, we have.
I'm a lady.
What the fuck is that?
I'm a lady.
James, he's gonna put a spell on us. What are you doing? Inviting him on this podcast?
I don't know. What is this about? I'm a lady?
I don't know. This is gonna become like that movie. What is that? What is that? What is that horror movie that came out a while ago where everyone's on Skype and they're getting killed off?
Oh, Unfriended.
Unfriended.
One of his favorite films, isn't it? On Friend Request or something.
Friend Request. Yeah, it's like a story of my
What the
life.
fuck is that happening right now? Oh God.
Did anybody notice that John Lynch can eat a lot?
What?
What?
I think
What is
John
going
Lynch.
on? What is actually going on?
Vin, all I will say is I noticed that. You may have noticed that, but it takes one to know one, right?
What?
Yeah.
What?
We are both people who like eating a lot. And Jen Lynch is not really skinny and has felt sort of,
my point is she can
or
eat
something.
a lot.
No, that's not fair. And also, Why should women be
And
castigated?
David
for
Lynch,
being
David Lynch, really, someone's got to pay for it because she's not doing very much right now. So I hope.
No, that's bollocks. Actually, she's doing well in terms of making lots of episodes.
Well, I hope Lynch has a large family. He has little babies, so I hope that will make him turn Twin Peaks into a new Simpsons. You know, to last for 20 seasons or something.
Okay,
like that.
I had no idea this was going to be on the topic itinerary for today. Jen Lynch eats too much. Really, Vin?
Well, I
So
just think
basically, he's made a new Twin Peaks.
financially it can be a burden, and someone's got
So
to
he's
pay
made
for
a
it.
new
So,
Twin Peaks so that Jen Lynch
So I-
doesn't end up homeless and living on Skid
Yeah.
Row, eating
Yeah.
just pot noodles.
I want to go back to Shane's girlfriend. Oh
Please
my
no.
god! What? What, Debbie?
Please no.
I want to know. I have a question. How are you coping?
Come on,
I
Ben.
just can't stand to wait anymore.
Fucking
How
7
is-
days. Fucking 7
How
days.
is everybody
7
coping?
days.
What
Oh.
are you doing? I'm trying to forget it. I want to see it right now.
Well,
So-
what was the thing, Cameron? You said in your video that somebody had said.
Well, you've said that for ages now, Vin. You've said that for the
Like
last
Hannibal Lecter
4
says,
months or
all good
something.
things to those who wait.
Mm.
But I do want to say one thing, Josh. I'll answer your whatever you want to ask in a
Alright,
second. But
alright.
I so don't forget it. But I do want to say this, something I've been saying a lot recently. This was shot as one big movie. It's been cut up, so we have to all remember that it's very possible that we could watch the first 2 hours, 4 hours, or whatever, and not know what the hell is going on, and maybe not even like it very much. But maybe by hour 12 and hour 13, it all comes together. And so I don't want the internet to do what the internet always does, which is praise or condemn in the first like 15 minutes of watching it just because it's different than what we're used to. I think it's important for us to see the whole thing as much as possible and then form an opinion about it. Because, I mean, this thing could all change by hour 15. I mean, we have no idea what the hell's going to happen in this whole thing. So anyway, Josh, go ahead.
I was going to say, you mentioned in your last video, somebody had said something about wishing they could sleep. I think they'd mentioned it on Twitter to Frost, and he'd said, yeah, but then you'd miss, what we're going to be dropping. And I was just wondering whether you've got any inkling as to what that's going to be.
I
Or
should
whether
hope
it's just going to be some more shit fucking phenomenon. videos.
hopefully it won't be another phenomenon trailer. Maybe they'll drop a prequel comic book. I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah.
You stole that idea off me, Cameron. I said there was going to be a 4-hour prequel released next Thursday.
You
That's
were
just
talking
something-
about video. I'm talking about a comic. Because Man of Steel, before that movie came out, they dropped a prequel comic explaining that it was Supergirl that landed on Earth before him.
Well, this 4-hour prequel that I wrote, that I originally came up with the idea of, is in. I actually thought that it would be filmed on celluloid, and then people would end up saying that was much better than the digital version.
How do we feel about this digital thing? I'm getting a lot of people writing to me saying they do not like the look of this new series at all.
I think that's the main offense, isn't it? Almost. For me, it is. I know as a graphic designer, I think probably the main offense for me is I love Inland Empire for the way it is, but I don't want that to translate into Twin Peaks. I feel Twin Peaks is more Lost Highway as described.
Mm.
But that whole sort of fucking like raw digital CGI, I think that works really well for Twin Peaks, but it's just how far he goes along that line. I think.
What do you mean
we'll
by
see.
CGI? We're not. I mean, CGI is.
Well, I'm
effects,
talking-
though, isn't it?
I'm talking about like so the first shot, say in the new trailer with that light,
Oh, that
Oh,
business,
right,
Yeah.
the jittery thing,
that
yeah.
sort of stuff. Yeah.
The Blair Witch shot.
That was great. That was. I thought that was
Yeah.
good. But I mean, it's not
you
like
could
the
tell
whole.
that was kind of analog, wasn't it? Like you could tell that was
Yeah.
sort of like natural.
Just real quick, Hal Brandt.
Well, no, I think it was filmed digitally, but it was just like a.
Yeah, but it was like an in-camera effect, like the way it was done.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
I thought
thing itself is
it
analog,
looked
but-
really well, and some people. I mean, Eric thought it was the Laura's stairs, but I think it
No, I don't
was.
think
I think
it
it was the stairs leading up to above the convenience store.
Mm.
It's not quite the hardest thing.
It's sort of like faithful to the original, the way that everything looked, but then at the same time, you know, it's just they're just using the benefits of digital to try and make things look better, and if they can. And I suppose they're going to a broader view of Twin Peaks. I hope so. Anyway.
Going back to the Jed Lynch conversation, Hal Brandt says Jed Lynch should have her dad make her some quinoa. And Leonard says Cartman on South Park has planned to freeze himself is sounding really good right now. Where is it? Hayden says, has anyone noticed that the Jumpy Man is back? Carlton Lee Russell is returning. So that's interesting.
Oh.
Let's see. Tracy Jackson says, I'm waiting till it's finished. Then I'm going to binge watch this. Really?
Gee, that's commitment.
That's the way Lynch would want us to see it.
Shit.
I don't think so. I think that may be a joke. But,
Philippe,
the best.
Good.
The best comment comes from Nick Solan. He says, "It does not matter what we think. It only matters to David Lynch what he thinks." What?
All right. Well, Philippe says he maintains that Michael Cera is going to be playing Andy and Lucy's kid. Dirty Boy says, I love the look of this new show. I don't get what the issue is. Hayden says it looks like Inland Empire.
No, it doesn't. I mean, that's going a bit far.
Yeah, Inland Empire was definitely not on high quality cameras. I mean, David Fincher shoots on digital, and movies look amazing.
It's going to look varied, isn't it? Some shots will look different to others. Obviously, it's.
Logan says the first release pic of Cooper in the Red Room was CGI. James, I know you're on a huge crusade about this. You're thinking they're using CGI for the whole Red Room thing.
No, bollocks.
No, I did not. I'm making stuff up now.
That picture, though, that it does look like he's not actually.
Oh yeah, that one had been.
No, you referred to two of the Red Room pictures as being CGI now. The one from the teaser and the one of Cooper.
Yeah, I was joking partly about it, but they do look like they've been manipulated somewhat. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
The one of Cooper in front of the curtains looked like it was two different images put together. You know, I think it was, but it's just being used for promo, so it doesn't really. They even may put it out as like a joke just to see what the fans think. You know, I think. That's, you know, just to try and kind of create interest.
I think maybe he is. I'm trying to look at them now. I think maybe he actually is. It just kind of the lighting looks a little bit weird on him.
But then we've seen one of him where he's in the. But then it's really difficult reading the comments, and then I've lost the track of. Yeah, the shot of him in the corridor walking with the really long curtains, taller than we saw.
Yeah.
That all looks completely real.
Yeah.
And it also looks strange. Like some people said they've de-aged Carl McLaughlin, but he does look really good for his age.
Yeah.
So
well, it's called lighting.
Yeah.
It's all lighting.
Well, and the fact that he just looks really good. But you know, I mean, Hayden Gilbert says, "Come on, James, that shot in the hallway looks just like Inland." Well, I will say it's obviously like a tribute to that in some way, but and the shot of Try Me, where the woman, he says the young lady looks aesthetically very similar to some of the scenes with Laura Dern in the snowy streets. Well, I know what you mean. There's a feeling of that from Inland Empire, but we'll see. I don't think that there's going to be like a whole 60 minutes maybe of that kind of level of sort of just low level sort of.
We do have a comment from
mystery.
Tracy asking, do we think the Black Lodge is more than just the Red Room stuff that we've seen?
Well, like there's more.
Yeah,
to
I'm
it.
sure it will be.
I'm sorry, Josh?
Like there's more to that place. Is that
right? I mean,
above the convenience
is it just rooms of zigzag floors and red curtains, or does it go into another thing? I mean, they say this is the waiting room.
Yeah, I think it probably is, but I don't think the above the convenience store has got anything to do with that.
Do you think we'll see any of this new stuff?
Yeah.
Do you think, I mean, not that we really need it, but do you think there will be an exploration further into the Black and White Lodges in this new series? Or do you think it will just stand as Black and White Lodge and that's it?
I
mean, do you think they're going to go into how it works?
Oh yeah, I think not. I mean, yeah, in a way, I think not. I don't think they'll kind of spell it out, but I would kind of hope so. Yeah.
What about you, Debbie? What do you think?
Sorry, I've missed that bit, guys. What are you talking about?
Oh, do you think they're going to actually explore what the White and Black Lodge is in this new series, or do you think they'll just leave it still as Black and White Lodge? And
I hope that we'll always see the White Lodge, because as far as I'm aware, we've not seen it yet.
Right, because the White Lodge is apparently where Major Briggs had his vision of, you know, Bobby and stuff, where he told him about his dream and things like that. So, you know, obviously it's not a place we've seen, but it's a place where characters have apparently been to it at some point. Because even when Major Briggs was taken, right, he didn't go to the Black Lodge. He apparently went to the White Lodge, right, or something like that.
I just wanted to mention this comment from Logan that made me laugh in the live chat now. Michael Cera equals White Lodge awkward spirit.
Yeah, that'll be good.
I think Michael
Well, he does do awkwardness very well, you know. I like Michael Cera a lot.
No, I think Sarah's going to pull it off. He'll pull it off. He'll pull it off in that what was that really weird film with him and like his opposite sort of cameo? What was that called?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know the one when he was like bipolar sort of thing.
Scott Pilgrim, or
No, it wasn't Scott Pilgrim. No, it was the one where he was like.
Oh, it's like I understand. He's got like a.
He was a nerd and he imagined himself as something. Yeah,
he's got this kind of other, you know, a bit of Fight Club aspect.
Yeah, but he's got that inside him. Like, I'm sure Lynch can fucking bring that out. Lynch is a fucking genius. Like, he can bring that out of anyone.
Let me throw out this thing out to you guys as well, because this was something that James and I talked about a while ago that he brought up to me, and I didn't even think about it. And that is, in the original show, taking Firewalk with Me out of it. In the original show, it seems like, you know, Cooper gets Annie out of the lodge, and then Cooper has been overtaken by Bob. And then, of course, in Firewalk with Me, we find out that no, only one part of Cooper got out. But in the missing pieces, you have Annie wearing Caroline's dress, right? So again, another flipping that's going on between the series and the movie. But the way Annie acts in the hospital room, James brought this to my attention because I didn't even think about it. I thought she was still like in a daze or a trance from like what she had gone through in an ordeal. And James was saying to me, no, he feels like Annie's doppelganger got out of the lodge. So maybe Annie and Cooper is, you know, they're still in the lodge entirely, but only their doppelgangers got out. Now we know that in Cooper's case that exists, but do you think Annie got out and she's, you know, just traumatized, or do you think that only her doppelganger got out as well? Because her doppelganger was the one wearing Caroline's dress.
Yeah, the doppelganger wants to try and deceive, so the idea of wearing someone else's dress seems to make sense. But I really wonder if Lynch maybe, or Frost or anyone, or sorry, Engels in this case, you know, I wonder if they haven't put enough thought into this, you know, but then maybe now if there is anything in this, we'll see it in the new show. So
Leonard says if there's a Grey Lodge introduced, he's going to be pissed.
That film, Chris, you were just talking about was Youth and Revolt.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Youth and Revolt. Yeah.
Where he had a double, like a alter ego called Francois.
That's right.
Nick Twist, with this sort of ridiculous moustache.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be good to see Michael Cera kind of play like a heavy, I think, like a Las Vegas heavy.
Yeah, I'd love to see that. That'd be great.
That would be too ridiculous.
You know, when I was watching Inland Empire last night, I was thinking, you know, Lynch.
Were you casually watching Inland Empire last night? Just casual.
Well, you know, I'm in the Lynch mood, so I was kind of watching it. But you know,
first movie to put on, really, isn't it?
Well, ever since Blue Velvet, Lynch has been wanting to do these kind of mafioso types, right? With Frank's gang, which I think is the most successful attempt at it. because when you look at Twin Peaks, he's got the the Asian mafia, and then he's got the Wild at Heart, he's got Mr. Reindeer, and then Mulholland Drive, he's got, and then Inland Empire continues, and it's like at Lost Highway, it's like, what is this fascination with like the mafia? And now we're gonna get gangsters in Las Vegas, apparently. I don't know. His mafia is like, it's almost like cartoony in a way. It's not. It's always played as like just big bulky guys doing silly things. So I don't know. I hope there's not too much of that in this new series.
Guys, can I just interrupt to say?
Yeah.
Can I just interrupt to say good night? I'm gonna leave now.
All right. Thanks for joining. Really appreciate it.
Bye.
Good
See
night.
you, Debbie.
Anyway.
Yeah, it is a bit late, Cameron, here, but anyway, I don't know what else.
Well, I'm asking you, what do you guys think about the mafia playing a part in this thing? I mean,
Well, I agree with you on the blue. That's not really the mafia though in that so much. It's just kind of small town gangsters, aren't they? A bit, but
Yeah.
Well, that's
they
what
are
I'm
the
saying.
ones who are the most sinister in any of his films. In Blue Velvet, you kind of like you wouldn't really. They're like kind of unsavory and sort of like dirty, and it feels like you wouldn't want to mess around with them.
Blue Velvet works because they just kind of like are Frank's little croonies, but like ever since then, he's tried to do like organized mob in his films, and I'm not quite sure he is the best person to make sort of Martin Scorsese type of movies.
No.
Because I honestly think the whole Robert Loggia stuff with like him beating that guy up in the car is just like, I don't know. It's people just love that scene, but I really think it doesn't work that very well. It's like a wannabe Frank Booth moment.
Yeah, totally.
I think we'll probably see people, sort of gang related stuff over the border interfering with whatever's going on in Twin Peaks. But I kind of think that it's going to be more about like a conflict of government than it is about anything to do with, gangs or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to see a lot of FBI and possibly like CIA even maybe coming in.
Yeah, I'm curious to know just how much this FBI is gonna play a factor. I mean, I've heard that
it's weird that Gordon Cole's been like every trailer. That's weird, isn't it?
Well, that's the other thing is David Lynch.
He's a tiny role.
Apparently, in this new series, Gordon Cole is going to be a huge character, and I mean, listen, I love Lynch to pieces, but he begins Fire Walk with Me. He's the first character we see in Fire Walk with Me. So obviously, he's putting Gordon Cole front and center now. He's no longer a character that pops in halfway through season 2.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I know he's on the audio thing when Cooper talks to him, but it's just his voice. But season 2 is when he pops up. So, but now he's just front and center everywhere. And curious. I mean, I want to see like a car chase with Gordon Cole, Fast and Furious style,
jumping out of car windows and running along.
At least driving fast. At least driving fast. Like, Albert, it's gonna be a hairy turn. That type of
and
thing.
Miguel Ferrer's just sort of sleeping like that, going, what? Like that.
It'd be good if it. By the end of it, he's on like Miguel Ferrer. It'll go on for about 9 hours, so that's like half the series covered. It'd be kind of like the Cannonball Run, and then they just go over a massive truck and go, yeah! At that point, Miguel Ferrer's got like a drip attack.
Twin Sanity believes that maybe Bad Cooper is a hired gun for the mafia, and he's doing hit jobs in his leather jacket.
Who knows?
Guess we'll find out in 7 days.
I think that it's like people are making all these wild guesses about what the hell's up with Cooper, and they it's like Cooper's got this kind of whole harem of prostitutes or something like this. It's like, but why would this be going on? It's just, or is this going on across many states, and like Cooper's actually some massive gangster linchpin?
Like I've said,
if that's the case, that would be just sort of like
like I said
It
though,
would be a bit too insane.
in the trailer breakdown I did, if you look behind Albert and Gordon Cole, you'll see a map of the United States, and it's all pinned up and lined. And I think that they've been tracking Cooper for a while. So obviously, you know, he's been on the lam for a while, and so I think they're trying to track him down. Who knows what's going on? Who knows what Cooper's doing in that seedy motel?
It's gonna be a mixture of like, what the hell are Cooper's motives? You know, is he actually doing this for the FBI?
Yeah.
Well, I discussed with you, didn't I, James?
Is he evil?
The possibility that maybe Mike got his arm back in the Black Lodge, and that's the reason why those two guys are fighting together outside. Do you remember?
Yeah, you mean that, like, you mean because of the fact that we presume Michael J. Anderson may not be in it, but
yeah.
But then again, yeah. But you think that Mike's going to come out again and be evil again in a way, and he's sort of leading.
Yeah, exactly. So he basically takes his arm back, and then him and Cooper become this entity that goes out destroying.
But there's another, you know, little person that's been cast in this thing, so maybe the role has been recast. So
Is that?
I know, but
is that not?
There's a lot of things that are just.
Josh, what?
I was going to say, is that another dwarf besides Carlton Lee Russell? Different.
I don't know. What was the name of the guy that you were sending me pictures of, James?
I don't know. I don't know the name of the actor. Sorry.
Oh, was it Michelangelo? Was it?
Him.
Anyway, so but the new series is coming out. Are you guys going to watch it alone, or are you going to watch it with people, or how are you doing this?
I'm watching on my projector.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got a little home cinema room in my flat. I've got a couple of mates coming over. We're going to watch it.
What kind of projector?
2 a.m. So I've got literally 60 quid off Amazon. Fucking piece of shit.
Oh.
Bottom end. Does the job. Get it. Get it, James. Get it. Seriously.
What make is it?
Tell you what, give me 1 second.
People are wanting to know what we think about the internet playing a factor.
I'll be here on my own just watching it. That's it.
The way the internet will be used in this show, do you think you know, they'll make allusions to Flesh World being online now?
Tronify. Amazon, 60 quid. I think it is. Fucking amazing. Get that.
Tronify.
Is that advertising? Should I get paid for that? Surely.
Have you actually got it there with you?
Yeah. Right here.
What's it called again? Sorry, Tronify.
Tronify, yeah.
Like the film Tron? Oh, yeah, right, okay. Tronfy, yeah. Tronfy, okay. Well, it looks okay to me, as long as it works.
Next thing I know,
it works.
Next thing I know, James, you're going to say that Tron inspired David Lynch for this new series of Twin Peaks, and we're going to get
a lot of things in it just seem like just one big kind of mind F, you know, like, you know, there's that picture somewhere going around of, it's still from one of a new trailer or something of the Laura Palmer photo, stapled, or sorry, sellotape to a box or something. I can't remember which trailer or whatever.
It was from the Secret History of Twin Peaks trailer, and the picture is made to look like a 1940s glam girl.
It's not from the Secret History, because I looked at that again.
Mm.
That doesn't feature that. It's from something else. It's like an actual shot from the new series or something. But it doesn't make sense why she got that kind of darker red lipstick on and sort of blue eye on or something. Because that wasn't in the original. Like it's been optically messed around with on a computer and, you know, put it. Is it like you think someone's just doing some big trick on the FBI? But I mean, what the hell would? One person said, like, is it basically that Laura was reincarnated and she was killed before or something? But that's just insane.
Well, I mean, people have been saying this show's going to take place over, you know, certain states or over or even globally. I will even wager to say that not all of these things that we're going to be seeing are going to be even in the same year. I bet you some of it will be in the 80s and some of it will be modern, and some of it, I think we're going to go back and forth in time.
I totally agree.
And this idea, this thing about like what did Carl McLaughlin say? It's going to be like
Nothing anyone's ever seen.
Nothing you've ever seen in your life.
He also
Yeah.
said the show will
shattering, but
the show will cause us massive diarrhea as well. So
Yeah.
I just don't understand how a TV show could have that level of how could be that different. What does he mean? You
Are
know?
you mad? Like,
It's scary. It's going to be scary.
Am I mad?
if it's inland,
I've seen Inland Empire.
If it's Inland
and you're
Empire,
sat here on a
it's not
fucking
like-
talk show. So
I am a bit.
that's
mad.
how
Yeah,
it's
maybe,
affected
but,
you.
know.
That is how it's affected you. So it has actually. Think about it. It's affected
No, but
you
I'm not
that
talking about
much to like be on a fucking talk show on YouTube. That's how much that show has affected you. So
Yeah, I'm not saying that.
how
I'm just
much
saying I
is this
just
going to
can't
affect the
understand.
next generation? Is what we're saying, I guess.
Probably, yeah. I suppose he means that in more of a down to earth sense. I think I'm just thinking of it in terms of, you know, what does he mean in terms of the content, I suppose. But I suppose that's an impossible question until we see it.
Yeah, I guess it is.
And a lot of it is based around the fact that it's Lynch and Frost working together.
Stroking each other
So,
softly.
Leonard says Bob is going to just be a dude addicted to internet porn. But, you know, but someone did ask me last night, like, well, you know, do you really think Ray Wise is going to be playing Bob's reflection in the mirror? Because, you know, obviously if Cooper, the doppelganger, is Bob, are they just going to let Kyle play Bob, or are they going to do that mirror reflection thing again, you think?
Yeah, it's just impossible to. But, you know, you can't just sort of like divert completely from what came before, can you? You know, so this idea of like how are we going to fill Bob's shoes and things like that.
I could see them utilizing outtakes of Frank Silva for some shots like that, though. I could see that, but then you'd have to explain why we never see Frank Silva as Bob other than just mirror reflections, you know. So
with CGI and things like that, they can do some pretty amazing things now, but I don't think the budget of this show would extend to sort of, you know, CGIing Bob on another actor and things like that, Frank Silva. But,
right.
You know, but I wouldn't want that either anyway. I want them to just do it in a more, you know, we only get glimpses of Bob anyway, so I'm sure it's possible to kind of create it somehow.
But I also can't see Lynch recasting Bob. I mean, I can see him doing I can see him doing Ray Wise as a reflection, but I can't see him casting another actor to play Bob, because Lynch is somebody that once he sees somebody as that role, they are that person.
Just do it in like in what do you know?
Yes, I understand he recast Maura Kelly, but that's a different thing. Donna Hayward had to be in that movie, so.
I always
Plan 9 from outer space. Just have Bob covered always by his hair, just walking around with all the hair. In front of it.
Atomic Blonde.
But he's much taller, like about 6'2" or something. You know?
Yeah.
And really bulky. Like, hey, I'm coming for you, Lord.
When I was in high school,
just have to finish this kebab.
When I was in high school, I had to go take a class at a little center over here, and there was a guy there that was like, he was like a homeless guy, but he looked exactly like Bob. And all of my friends and I, we'd be like, Bob, every time we'd see him, and he had no idea what the hell we were talking about. But he always wore the jeans and the jean jacket and the long hair, and it just cracked me up. So there are a lot of Bob lookalikes out there, but there's only one Frank Silva.
I think everybody's seen someone who looks a bit Bobbish walking around at one point, and they're like, they have to hold it in, you know, not to go up to them and start going, fire, walk with me.
There's a Bob around Lancaster. He rides around on a bicycle and wears like a pink tutu. That's an honest to God true story, and he looks exactly like Bob as well. It's mad.
Oh my God.
Adamo says Bob will be played by Bonnie Aarons. For those of you who don't know, she played the
that's funny, but
the homeless person in Mulholland Drive, as well as the nun in The Conjuring 2. Logan says, I just made the mistake of Googling Lara Flynn Boyle in 2017, and damn. Adam Reese says, is there any connection between Cooper reminding Cole of a small Mexican Chihuahua and the fat woman now walking a Chihuahua down the corridor of the new trailer?
Oh my God, I didn't realize that. Yeah.
Is Gordon Cole shape-shifting now, or what's going on?
And the hotel definitely
A
looks like
small Mexican Chihuahua.
kind of looks like a Las Vegas hotel, doesn't it? Or
Mm.
even maybe it's a Mexican hotel. No,
Honestly, when I saw that shot of the lady walking down the hallway, I immediately thought of the lighting and the set decoration for In the Missing Pieces of the Buenos Aires scene with David Bowie. It just kind of seemed like the same thing.
it's not a million miles
I
from
thought
it.
of happiness. I thought that the show will be funny. It won't be just Inland Empire.
I don't know. We'll get Lucy and Andy stuff. So
Well, of course, it'll be a mixture. I mean, there's going to be 18 hours, so you know, some episodes are going to be funnier than others, aren't they? Than others. So.
Amaval said, well, do you think they'll bring back Invitation to Love?
No.
No.
It would be a bit strange to have it to have it just absent from season 2, then just hammer it back in, kind of just. It would seem rather strange choice.
Well, especially in today's age when their
that's
soap operas
fine.
not even on air anymore. I mean, they've canceled most of them, so it's not even a thing. So,
What's a thing today?
reality
Game of
shows.
Thrones?
Reality shows.
Porn.
But let me ask
Kardashians,
you.
yeah.
Let me ask you this: what do you think is going on with? I mean, you see it in the new trailers, but it's also in the previous series. There's a lot of women's clothes with flowers on it, James and I, we did a commentary yesterday, in which I pointed that out. But if you look at the new teaser, Shelley is wearing flowers, and I think there's another actress that's wearing flowers on and it's interesting how there's like a flower motif that's going through this whole thing from the obviously the blue rose and Maddie's bathrobe and because like Shelley in the what is it, the James, what is it, the Roadhouse, she's sitting there with 3 of her friends, one of them being a girl from Gossip Girl and Piranha 3D, and they're just, I don't know, it's really interesting to see that they're really kind of bringing this like flower motif more into this thing. I don't know where they're going with it, or if that's just a costume designer thing, but it seems to be everywhere. Then what's so funny?
Lednock says they will have TP season 2 on instead of Invitation to Love. This is quite interesting.
Well, that's fine. Tracy wants to know, James, do you still watch EastEnders?
I already replied. Yeah, I said yes, I do. Tracy, why? I think that's just a random question. Like, I'll ask Tracy back. Do you watch EastEnders, and why are you asking about EastEnders now? All of a sudden?
I think they want. They want you to do an EastEnders podcast.
That would be good. I mean, that would mean that we'd have to do 4 a week. We could get all these guys on, I'm sure. But you'd have to watch it in there somehow. I'm sure you can get it in the States.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
All right, guys. If we're going to
Really
EastEnder territory, we should probably wrap this one up. But before we close out, why don't we all just say our what we're thinking about over these next 7 days? Chris, we'll start with you. Got 7 days till the new season. What's your mind state like right now?
Honestly,
Huh?
I don't even know what to expect.
Well, that's fair.
Okay.
That's a fair reaction.
Do you know what I mean?
I appreciate your candor. So that's the same as that. That's how I feel as well. But that's the best way to be, really.
I think.
Well, let me ask you guys this: if someone sent you the script for hour 1, would you read it?
No.
Absolutely not.
James would.
I'd keep it, yeah, but I wouldn't read it.
Well, I have terrible self-control.
Yeah, you
don't
do.
I, basically. Thank you for the confirmation. But, you know, yeah, it's just I wouldn't want that to happen. Basically, though, that's the thing.
Yeah. Chad wants to know, Chris, are you drinking right now? And other people are.
Come on now, let's just be civilized now. Just be more sensible. Let's be respectful. As I often am. Okay.
Okay. Josh, how about you? You got 7 days. What are you gonna do this week?
I'm just gonna be dirking off all the time until. No,
I do actually correspond with Dirk.
Każe się drykam. Josh się drka.
What?
I'm going to be dirking
I'm speaking
24/7
Croatian.
I know, yeah. Go on, what are you saying, James?
whilst wearing a pink tutu and going round on a bike with long hair, like a long wig that I've got.
Yeah,
And then a moustache as well that I stick on, and a massive gold crucifix, spreading the name of the Lord, as Cameron would want me to.
Yeah.
Praise the Lord, fire walk with me. Just combining Christianity and Twin Peaks. It's brilliant.
Well, luckily I am going to be fairly busy this week, so it should go by pretty quickly. And then once the weekend's here, I'll probably just...
Yep, and Hal Brandt says wanking
everything.
for 7 days. 7 days of non-stop wanking to alleviate the waiting stress. And I agree, it's good to keep doing it, even when it becomes painful.
Yeah,
You've got scabs all over your penis, and it's shrunk. It's shrunk to about 2 centimeters because it's got no strength.
Logan wants to know: are you gonna be dirking it in your double R outfit, James?
Yes, with my implant, my buttock implant showing, just with the skirt hitched up quite a bit, just to tempt people when I'm in the crest of the wave restaurant on a Friday night.
Adamo wants to know. Oh, the sound is like getting terrible. We're getting massive feedback at this point. But Adamo wants to know, who the hell's voice is that?
What the fuck's happening now?
We're like echoing.
Yeah, well, you've got to. This is Chris doing it on purpose, I'm sure, because he is like a sound engineer and stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, God. One more, James. Give us one more echo of that.
No, I can't. It's like 10 past midnight here, and there's probably someone trying to sleep below me or whatever, and I'm going, Imagine someone downstairs, they're like, what the fuck?
All right. All right. Well, anyway, the question. Oh. What is going on? Madness has finally come to this podcast.
Oh, no.
Your voice is. Go ahead, James.
Sweet bologna stick.
All right. Well, Adamo asked this question. Oh, Hal Brandt says we're all ranking right now. And Adamo wants to know, will there be a podcast next Monday or Tuesday about the new show? It will be, we're going to be doing stuff Sunday night. So, okay.
Yeah, we should do something.
I'll be up pretty much all Sunday night, I think. Okay.
I'll be up all night.
All right. No offense to no offense to everybody on this podcast, but just hang on. I'm gonna just start. There we go. All right. So eliminating Chris from the podcast apparently changes the sound design. So All right, one by one, I'm gonna start ejecting everybody out.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Josh, your last words before you get the boot.
Oh, fuck.
All right, don't dirk it too hard this week, and
No.
we'll talk to you soon. Have a great week.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on. I'll see you in a bit.
All right.
See you, Josh. On positive note, Julian Sage just put, I'm going to watch this episode again, definitely. That part at the end, the sound just went into something almost... That could probably be the soundtrack for the final episode of Twin Peaks, I think.
Right.
It was just amazing. It was, but the fact that Chris was just sitting there silently, kind of listening to everything. It was literally like something out of Twin Peaks, that one.
Yeah, completely. Vin, do you have any last words before I send you on your way to the Black Lodge?
Well, I'd like to recommend a British series. I'm whiling away my time for the next 7 days with a wonderful dark comedy called Inside Number 9.
Goodbye. Anyway, Inside Number 9. All right, check it out. But
Okay.
all right, James, what are you going to say before I boot you off too?
Oh, yeah, I've heard that one. Thank you, everybody, for watching tonight and letting me be part of this. Thank you for inviting me, Cameron. It was a lot of fun, actually.
Well, people really enjoy you being on here. Even when I posed the idea of whether I should send you on your way or keep you here, everyone wanted you here except for one person.
You know, there were just like literally 50 people watching.
Yeah.
I just don't understand where all these people come from.
I think it's amazing that all you guys, really support us in this channel and these videos. It's great. I wish this had translated to Showtime marketing when they were compiling all their new stuff, because I think talking with us or utilizing us in some way, I think would have really been even more beneficial for the show. So, I've been kind of doing free advertising for Twin Peaks and David Lynch for, years now. So I wish they had asked us to be a part of it in some way. Besides just doing this, I would have loved to have helped out in many ways. But anyway, it is what it is.
I feel bad for you in that respect.
Well, especially since I did a lot of interviews with people and stuff like that. So obviously, this channel and these videos do have a really good reputation with a lot of people within the community and with people that work on the show and things like that. So it was just kind of funny to me that Showtime never reached out and said, hey, do you want to help out in some way? Because it would have been a resounding yes. But anyway, now I just sound like Michael J. Anderson and being bitter, but I'm not trying to. I just it's just like I said, it's gonna maybe it's
more to do with the way you can contact them. Like maybe if you contacted like Lynch or Frost directly or something like that. It's not Showtime so much. Or their agents, or I don't know. No,
I mean, it's just, this is, I'm going to be honest here. This is an emotional time for everybody that's a Twin Peaks fan, especially me. I mean, this is, we're less than a week away from seeing a show that was never supposed to really ever come back. And here we are. And so it's like, it is going to be sort of this up and down thing this week. And so, yeah, I'm super excited. Can't wait to see it. And yet, there's also just another thing of just a little bit of sadness too, not necessarily because of that, but how much in my life has changed in 25 years. I mean, where I was in life when Twin Peaks was on, where I was in life when Bravo re-aired the show, where I was in life when that horrible VHS box set came out, where I was when the Laserdisc came out and the DVDs and the Blu-ray sets. And it's like every time Twin Peaks has come out or done something, Netflix or whatever, it's been another time in my life. And it's like this whole charting thing of like where you are in life, and where I am when Twin Peaks season 3 airs is completely different from where I was when season 1, aired. And so it is sort of
can be quite.
It's overwhelming. It's a passage of time. It's a huge passage of time. And so it just makes you think about all the things you've done in life and where you've been and where you've gone and what you haven't done. And it's very emotional. This isn't just like, oh, a TV show just is coming back on the air. It's like it's like your childhood is coming back. It's I mean, a lot of people, you know, refer to the new Star Wars movies like this, you know, but for me, my Star Wars was Twin Peaks. And so to have it be back, and you know, that's why sometimes I'm down on some of the marketing, and other marketing I just can't. I think it's wonderful because I see that they're kind of tipping their hands sometimes in the wrong direction, even though they mean well. I don't want to see, you know, marketing that I know doesn't quite work blow up in their face. I want to see Twin Peaks be successful and awesome and all that stuff. And whether it's praise or not praise, or whatever, I want it to be as good as it can be. But I know the bottom line is numbers and money and all that stuff. So, you know, I don't want them to shoot themselves in the foot. I want them to at least, you know, maintain integrity all the way through, and not just be like, you know, you got to watch this show right now because, you know, your parents 27 years ago loved it, because kids will be like, no, I'm not interested. But if you said, hey, you know, it's one of the, you know, biggest watch shows on Netflix, and the Blu-ray sets were selling well, and streaming, you talk in that language, yes, you'll bring on the new generation into this new show. But that's just me.
Well, if you look at the actual views for, you know, you compare the trailers that have come out, which have got new footage, for instance, for Twin Peaks. Yeah. And, you know, those have got hundreds of thousands of views in a matter of a few days. Whereas this one that came out of this phenomenon thing, you know, it's literally got, let me just check now how many views it's got. It's got just 50,000 views, so in a day, which is not really very many.
Right.
Yeah.
Dirty Boy.
You know,
Dirty Boy says
the other ones.
Remember the wait for the missing pieces. Definitely. He also says just make the YouTube thumbnails of your videos a close up of cleavage, and we'll get lots of people.
Male cleavage. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll have Vin send us some pictures.
That'll be delightful.
Leonard says Lynch and everybody already got their money. Now it's up to Showtime's marketing for them to make theirs. Yeah. Dirty Boy says bought all the VHS and DVDs. Always try to keep up with it on the net over the years. And Nina says I'm 69 and so thankful I'm still here for the new season. I think we are all grateful to be here for the new season. I think we're all grateful to even have
you're writing to us, Nina, as well. So
yeah. Tracy Jackson, James, you'll love this one. You'll love this one. Tracy Jackson says maybe you guys should just hire Ashley Mova.
Yeah, but I mean, why? I do remember Ashley Mova. Let me just check.
You remember her? Remember when you used to get responses from Amy Rose Eisenbach?
Yeah. She didn't seem to mind any of the videos and stuff, did she?
No. Eric,
what's the joke about Ashley Mova?
Oh no, because she works with Campia and Collider and AMC back in the day, you know. So if we had someone like Ashley Mova on the show, then all the nerd boys would tune in, because that's what nerd channels do, you know. They hire like these model type of people, men and women, and then they spout off what they think about nerd culture. So
yeah,
but we've never really been that way. We've always tried to get interesting and different voices on here, and different personalities. So Eric wants to know, what was the budget you think for the new Twin Peaks? What do you think they had?
I have no idea, but like some people were writing online on, you know, Doug Pro or wherever, kind of something like $70 million. But I was thinking that sounds like a hell of a lot. I don't think, you know.
Well, Fire Walk With Me cost $10 million back in '91 when they were filming it, and I mean, obviously adjust for inflation and all that, but.
Well, I lowered that. They said something like $80 million, but I honestly don't know. And in terms of kind of, you know, publicity and all that kind of thing, I think they've played it like fairly low key in many ways, apart from not in the press though. The press has been quite a lot, but also now, I think that they're lucky in many ways. Just the amount of publicity that social media gives Twin Peaks.
Oh yeah,
and that's free, including what you do.
Mm-hmm.
So
I just can't. I couldn't believe back
Yeah,
then when I remember reading that Fire Walk with Me cost $10 million, because Wild at Heart cost $8 million, and that is a much more ambitious film than Fire Walk with Me.
Yeah, but then you see, there's 90 minutes of extra deleted scenes, and you kind of start to realize how much was shot and what didn't end up in the film, and then
There's more.
Apparently even more was shot than that. So
of course. Yeah,
it was far more modestly based as a film than Wild at Heart, definitely, like you say. But they just shot hell so much. So
Cop in the comments says he hopes that Chris isn't still staring at the wall, and
I think he was channeling the actor in the trailer, but instead of just looking into, it was like the end of the Blair Witch, where he's just staring into the back, into the corner of the room. It was like quite terrifying.
Yeah, I know. Well, no, because when I asked him that question, he's like, he goes, "I don't really know what to think." Dirty Boy says, "Yeah, I'm worried about Chris. Seems like he took something off camera and it just kicked in." Well, I guess that's better than Joe peeing on camera. So,
well, somebody said that. Anyway, no, I don't want to talk about any of that stuff. Somebody said this is as Joe just snorted something there. So.
Well, that was on the other podcast when David Lynch quit for those couple weeks.
That's the effect of David Lynch quitting.
Yeah. Yes.
People turn to hard drugs.
Live on YouTube.
And then start urinate on cam. It's just the way to take out your blues, kind of.
Yes.
Instead of recording, blues jams like John Lee Hooker or something, they get on the webcam.
Somebody said that scary looking brunette lady in the trailer, the one that Chris is convinced is Laura Dern in heavy makeup. Somebody said to me they think that's Lil, older.
No, I mean, it doesn't look like her in the face, does it? So she's got a much more prominent nose, to be frank.
I wonder if Lil's still dancing in one space or one place. I mean,
she's probably still at that. She's probably still there at that
at the airport,
private Portland airport, or just in a shack somewhere. She's brought out every few weeks or so by Gordon Cole, who just brings randomly some more FBI agents there.
Hal says he thinks the scary lady is Donna Hayward 25 years later.
No, I'm not making any more jokes about this. No, it's just.
All right, well, let's wrap this up then. Let's go ahead, James. What are you going to do this week to prepare for the new season? Going to wrap yourself in plastic daily or what?
Probably do some sort of live podcasts from by the stream that goes behind where I live, and with an old dictaphone, talking to Diane about the new show. And whether Cooper will just be in it every episode for about 5 minutes and that's it, and then the rest of it is just about the babes and boys of Twin Peaks saying "try me" and looking at webcams and stuff. I think I could see the Black Lodge. It kind of worries me. I feel worried in some ways that it's going to be a bit like they'll like this. This is what the youngsters are like, Frost and Lynch a bit. But I don't really think it will be like that. But I've still got that worry,
Right. Leonard says, in regards to Hal's comment about the scary lady being Donna, he says, now you're just being mean. I don't know if he was referring to Lara Flynn Boyle or whether he was just saying maybe Donna Hayward is just grown up to be just a scary individual. I don't know. We don't even know if Donna Hayward's going to be in this, but I can't believe that she wouldn't be in this, considering that James is back. We're still dealing with Laura Palmer stuff. I mean, why wouldn't Donna Hayward be in the show?
Well, no, because they've said that Lara Flynn Boyle isn't coming back. But,
right, but it doesn't have to be Maura Kelly. It could be another actress. I mean, remember that all that talk about Ashley Judd maybe playing Donna?
True. But can I just say I've become distracted by a blog called The Appreciation of Booted Newswomen blog, and it's got Stream TV's Ashley Mover wearing boots. I'm talking about Pretty Little Liars, the after show. So, thank you.
Leonard says he's going to convince himself the new season is going to suck. That way he'll be either correct or surprised. And Jared Hall says, what?
So what are you going to be doing this next week, Cameron? Watching Speed Racer?
No, I'll be doing a bunch of commentaries for Twin Peaks, kind of getting back into the whole thing, and just uploading more videos for this channel and get people ready for the new season. And I just can't believe we're a week away from this new season and we know pretty much nothing except what they wanted to tell us or what early reports were saying, because, you know, there were people snooping around the set. So, but yeah, I think it's really good. And, you know, Jared Hall says you can't please everybody. If other people don't get the new Twin Peaks, fuck them. So there it is.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be differing opinions, I'm sure, but there'll probably be quite a lot of like praise, to be honest.
It's going to be Monday. Monday's going to be it. I mean, or Sunday night. This is what you're going to see. I'm not kidding you. Twin Peaks is the greatest thing David Lynch has ever made. Twin Peaks, it's the worst show ever to come back. What were they thinking? Those will be the two pieces you see all over the internet.
Well, I dread seeing that. Honestly, I you know, I'd be weeping non-stop. But you know, it's a very, very extreme reaction. People don't seem to have much of a tendency online, do they, to just react in a kind of, well, it was okay kind of way, or something like this, or, oh, maybe I will think about it. They've got to come down and one. Everything's clickbait sometimes, isn't it? You know,
right? Julius wants to know, James, will you be doing any videos on your channel this week?
Well, I don't know if Josh is free, and you know, I could always invite you on, Cameron, and Vin as well, I suppose.
I'll be working this week, so when you usually do them.
True. Well, that's the kind of idea behind them. So, yeah.
And the idea, yeah. Also, I've heard that they're not going to be showing Twin Peaks at the Cannes Film Festival until after the Sunday night premiere, right? So there won't be leaks.
They're just. It almost strikes me a bit as like. It's almost like they're just doing it as a kind of way of just showcasing it, sort of, to the industry or something.
Right, but they're not showing it prior to the Showtime showing.
No, it's not being shown until the 25th, apparently. So
right. So that's
strange,
smart. But
it's good. It's a good thing to do, actually, because otherwise, yeah, there would be just sort of that tendency for people to just come online immediately and start leaking stuff.
Oh, the entire thing would be leaked. The entire plot for those 2 hours would be on online.
Yeah, that's probably why they're doing, obviously. But
this is something I heard too before we go, and I don't understand why this would be, but apparently Mark Frost has said that they're going to release on the air on Blu-ray with the Twin Peaks season 3 Blu-ray set, like on the same set.
Do you mean so it would be a separate disc, like? With a separate cover, though, and everything.
No,
because I mean, you can't just.
They're saying it'll be in the
jam it in there without a cover and things. It makes no sense.
Like
it's almost like it's demeaning the show more in a way. I mean, even if it's HD and on Blu-ray or whatever, but I'm not sure about that.
I can't imagine getting the Twin Peaks season 3 Blu-ray set, opening up, and disc 5 is on the air. You know,
because it would just then it's making it more of a joke with fans, isn't it? It's like because they go, oh, that show that they shoved out on. You know, the Twin Peaks discs, so we had to buy it. But like, you know, who'd ever watch that and mock it or something?
Right.
I mean, because a lot of people, you know, it's not really necessarily the best, their favorite sort of thing. I really liked it generally, but you know.
Yeah, Mark said that in an interview, and Leonard says they're going to release on the air that way to give ABC a giant middle finger. And Shun Spear says, do you guys think that the new show will be on iTunes? I'm sure it'll be on all streaming once it kicks off. So Basically, look at Showtime stuff. If you can get Homeland and Ray Donovan streaming, then you can get the new Twin Peaks streaming. It's just a matter of it starting. So anyway, all right, James, we're gonna wrap this up. We've been going 2.5 hours now, so it's a long video for a Mother's Day video. And but hopefully, all you guys have already contacted your mother or sent her something today and said that you love her. Thank you very much for being on this planet, so that we can all watch Twin Peaks together. So. All right, James. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure.
Thanks again, Cameron. Same here.
No problem. And thank you guys for watching these videos and supporting the channel. Be sure to like and subscribe and share the videos and let people know about this channel, because obviously, you know, the more people here, the more fun it is. And the fun has only just begun. We have new season of Twin Peaks starting in 7 days, and it's time to rock. So take it easy, and we will see you next time.